What up, what up, what up, what up? Crazy, beautiful people. Thank you once again for tuning in to the Black Sheep Perspective. Today is Saturday, February 8th, right?
Yes, sir.
February 8th. Today's a big fight night tonight. We got John Jones going to be defending his belt against Dominic Reyes. I know Gus and I are looking forward to that. We got some fight talk today because we got an amazing guest today. Before we get into that, though, Gus, give us some updates on your fight. I know we keep bringing up your fight, and it got postponed. Just tell us really quick about that. We'll go into details later.
Supposed to be fighting for Combate at the end of this month. Been training for like 3 months. I was supposed to fight in January, then they moved it to February. And then my opponent pulled out for February, and now they have me. I'm going to be fighting for Titan, which is a really good promotion.
Right, spoke about
most likely no funny business will be done with them,
Mm-hmm.
100%. So I'll be fighting at the beginning of the month with them in Dominican Republic.
April.
Yeah,
Okay.
in April. And then at the end of the month for Combate
In Orlando.
in Orlando, Florida, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I know you've been training your balls off, and you're looking great. And whoever you're gonna go against is, whoo, they got something coming. I can't wait for that.
I'm excited.
And but on that note, on the fight tip, and we got a lot of fights coming up. We have especially UFC, but also here in South Florida, we got some great events coming up that we're gonna talk about. And this happens to be one of your old training partners. Who, man, do we got a lot of stories that are gonna come from that? A lot of shit talking that's gonna come for that.
It's like the big brother has been bullying me.
Yeah, man. He's literally a local legend. He's really very, very known, not only just in the fight world, but also in Miami. A lot of work that he does in communities, how long he's been representing. He was actually part of that come-up squad with Jorge Masvidal as well. This dude is old school, one of our great friends, training partners, ex-co-workers. World, welcome Luis Baboon Palomino.
Thank you guys for having me over, man.
Yo, my brother, I really appreciate you being here, man. I know we wanted to do this a while back, but you were still prepping for different fights.
Yeah.
You were, I think you were about to travel to Russia.
Yeah.
And then you eventually went, or no? What? No. What?
No, yeah, we went to Russia. We went.
Yeah,
to,
that's right, you
St.
did.
Petersburg.
Okay, that's right.
ACB, right?
ACB. Yeah.
And so anyhow,
ACA now they rebranded.
For real?
really?
Yeah.
So
Why'd they change the one letter?
I don't want to get into the details.
Oh, you know the details?
It's ACA. I mean, I don't know the truth behind. I mean.
But what does it stand for? What does the original stand for? And what is?
I know that they joined forces with another show, another organization.
Smaller or bigger organization?
It was big too. It was like Akman. I don't know what the deal was. I don't know. I think they bought them in. I don't know what it is, but they unified all their fighters. Kind of like when UFC took over
Pride.
WEC.
Yeah.
Oh, Okay, WC.
Yeah,
That's true.
WEC, they brought in the fighters.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
More than Pride, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, WC was always a sister company for a long time to UFC.
I think
and then
it was
just
something similar.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like that. So now it's called ACA.
How was it fighting for them? What was your experience like?
I mean, it was fun because I love fighting. It was fun because I love fighting.
You like to travel?
And yeah, that it brought out that part where I can actually go and start getting out of the country and travel.
Yeah.
I had never done that. I was just in the country.
So okay, so hold on before you go into details, because I know we have loyal fans who know who you are, or we got people in Miami who know who you are, but then we're gonna have a lot of people listening and watching us on YouTube, and they don't know who the fuck you are. So give everybody a little background check. We'll go into your upbringing and all that later, but from the fight world, on the fight tip, when did you start fighting? When did this all happen, and where did it progress from there?
All right, so started professional 2006. 2006, I decided I was in the Capoeira world.
Gus, were you even born? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
You were like 34.
There's a lot coming.
I told you, get ready. It's coming.
There's a lot coming for you.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, okay.
So,
and who was that for?
The first fight,
Do you remember?
Man, that was AC.
Not
Was it
AFC
showing
at the time, not AFC.
AFC.
AFC, yes.
Absolute Fighting Championship.
There you go.
AFC,
Okay.
Yeah. That was my debut. And then when I was 26, I trained for 8 months Jiu-Jitsu and went pro. No amateur fight, nothing.
No hands. I mean, you got street hands and all that stuff.
I didn't have no conditioning trainer or any idea of what conditioning training was. I didn't have any sparring partners for my first 10 pro fights. Not one.
Jeez.
I had one trainer that I would do mitts with, and that was my capoeira master.
Is that Cesar?
Cesar,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So I boxed in Cali, but I was 10 years old when I boxed. So I was 10 to 13. I boxed 3 years. Then I came to Miami, and my dad went to prison, came to Miami, and the boxing gyms were nowhere near. So my mom was like, "You're not going an hour away. We don't even know where this place is." So then I continued the fighting in the street. I started fighting a lot because in that time, as you know,
Those knuckles are ugly, bro.
yeah, man, they have the little scars.
He got little weird Appalachian Mountain knuckles.
Every little knuckle has a story to tell. So in that time, there was a lot of gang activity, man.
Yes,
back
yes,
in the days,
yes,
man,
yes.
it was rough.
You and I've had conversations about this before, for
And
sure.
I never was one to join one. I was not that,
Right.
I'm a G, I'm a G, don't fuck with me.
Right.
But I wasn't like into the gang bang and I'm gonna jump you or so you can be part of it. And I never liked it. So I ended up fighting a lot.
Yeah, and people don't understand that when you stand up like that, it's not even, you're not disrespecting the gang.
Right.
You're not, looking for issues. But when you do that, and I went through the same shit in prison, they look at it as like, oh, you think you that bad? Okay.
It's worse.
All right, we're gonna make you want to join, because what are you gonna do when you don't have any backup? And then bam, you become a fucking real monster.
The good thing was that there was always those older heads, like the old disciples and the old Sabish posse that they'll respect a young kid that was like just not gonna back down from nobody, from no group,
Right.
And it came to the point where you're already fighting so much that it's like, just leave the kid alone, man.
Right.
Don't fuck with him,
Right.
So that was that, man. I boxed in Cali, came to Miami.
So were you born and raised in Cali?
Nah, man, I was born in Peru.
You were born in Peru.
Peru until 10 years old. 10 years old, I came.
Damn, you were there for a minute.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
28,
I had no idea.
29 years, man.
Shit, do you ever get to go back?
I haven't gone back to Peru, bro. I haven't gotten a chance.
You have most of your family here, though, right?
No, just
your
my mom and my siblings.
So you still got plenty of family over there?
Yeah.
Or there? Yeah. Is this a stupid question? Are you allowed to go back? Or is he?
Now that I started traveling.
Who's knocking on the door? They go, ice.
Oh, fuck them up.
But no, go ahead.
You thought you were cold. You hot. You sweat. It took a while to get the whole paper situation figured out.
Okay.
But finally, like a few years back, I started traveling. So everything's normal now. Everything's okay. But I haven't gotten the opportunity to go back to Peru yet, because at first I wanted to go back over there because there's a lot of MMA going on over there.
Okay.
I wanted to fight when I go back over there.
Oh, okay.
Now things have changed. I'm in a different direction right now as far as fighting for MMA, other things.
Right.
And it just hasn't happened yet. And I want to do like a real trip. I want to do the Inca Trail. You ever heard of that?
Sounds badass. You put Inca in anything, it sounds
badass. I
badass.
want to go to Machu Picchu.
Oh,
Yeah,
that for
I know
sure.
what he's talking about.
The Inca Trail's a week.
I want to get kidnapped by some aliens up there. Dead ass. No homo though.
Yeah. So the Inca Trail, if you do the actual Inca Trail, you hike it up. It's a week hiking.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? It's a life-changing experience from what most people say. Like,
Bucket list.
Yeah.
Mark
big
that
time,
shit
big time.
down.
So when I go, I want to make sure that I have a whole week to do that, and a whole week to see the family.
Okay, so you waiting for the right time
Waiting
to
for the
make
right
that.
time, man.
Yeah. Okay. So you went to Cali at 10, and you were there what, about 3 years before
3
you
years.
came?
3 years. I boxed over there. I had a dope experience, with the Mexicans out there, Chicanos.
Yeah.
And I got some nice boxing fights. I did like 12 amateur fights. I don't even remember the record or anything. And when I came to Miami, and I couldn't get to a gym, I used to break dance in Cali too.
What?
You know what I mean? So I was pretty damn good at it. Right?
Well, that obviously had to help your capoeira too, no?
Exactly. So that's why when I came to Miami and I couldn't get no boxing going, I seen this capoeira stuff, and I seen this dude's playing. No, I seen the movie Only is Strong.
Oh.
And then in my block, there was this kid named Mickey. And Mickey was like, yeah, I do capoeira. I'm like, what? Really? Where? And he took me to South Beach. That's where I met Cesar. Well, that's a lie. I met Mandalay. Mandalay was my first capoeira master. So Mandalay was training with Cesar. Cesar was in Thailand recording The Quest, the movie with Van Damme.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I didn't get to meet Cesar. I met Delay. And me being a loyal person that I am, I started with Delay in the 6 months that he was shooting over there, even though I went looking for him. So when he came back, Delay had branched off to his own thing and named it Abolição. So the tattoo that you see in my arm and where my fight name came from, it came from him. So the logo of the group is a baboon. You know what I mean? I was named after the logo because I was the very first one.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, nobody has ever heard the actual story, But that's where the name came from. I was named after the logo. I was like one of the very first. Well, I was the very first guy that he had, and I trained with him for like 8 years straight capoeira, and I learned how to speak Portuguese. Play all the instruments. I became a certified professor, And, over the years going down was when, I had a fallout with that master, right? It came to the time of, you're a professor now and you're going to teach now. It came a little, it was a funny little thing, And I ended up, like, looking to grow more. I still wanted to do more. I wanted to be better, that hunger of always improving.
Mm-hmm.
And Cesar was, like, the one that I was looking at since the beginning. So I went, I had to sit down with him over there. He used to be the head security guard at Mango's. And I sit down with him, and I just became a professor, right? So when I explained to him the situation, look, I want to train with you, blah, blah, he says, he tested me. He's like, look, well, first of all, you're going to give me that belt.
Because he wanted you to feel like you're starting all over?
Yeah. I didn't give you the professor belt, so you're going to give me that belt.
Interesting.
I said, okay, no problem. I took it off and I put it on the table, And then he was like, yeah, but you're not going to use the belt before that. You're going to use the belt before that. So it made me like a before instructor. So it's just like instructor, then professor, So he put me way back, like 2 belts back. And then there was this kid, Energy, is my boy, Some of the best people that I know today, like, we met fighting.
Right.
And he was his best student. You already know what happened.
Yeah, you had a proving grounds.
You know what I'm saying, man?
Proving grounds had to happen.
Yeah, it happened. You know what I'm saying? It happened. He became like my brother. And
What movie did that remind me of really quick? Fuck. I couldn't put it together. I was trying to come back quick, but man, that's awesome. Okay, keep going.
We grew together, man. We grew together. We pushed each other, and,
Right.
and we grew, man. We got better. And years passed. And no, not years. Right there in that time, Sensei Daniel Valverde was teaching in the same gym where Cesar was teaching, which was right there on Lincoln Road, right? Yeah, Lincoln Road. There's a little building on top, and he was teaching there.
For those listening who don't know about Miami, he's talking about South Beach. When he says Lincoln Road,
Yes.
that's South Beach, Miami Beach area. So this is where all this is going down.
Yeah, so this gym was all the way on the roof, no AC, straight up heat, but you just imagine, And Sensei Daniel Valverde was teaching jiu-jitsu. He met with Cesar, and the inspiration of fighting actually came from the Assunção brothers. All right, so if you've heard of them,
Rafael
Assunção and Freddie Assunção and Junior Assunção. There's 2 twins, Freddie and Rafael are twins.
They have their own school in Georgia, don't they?
Yes. They have a,
But Rafael's still currently with the UFC.
Yeah. He was ranked.
Yeah.
He was ranked like number 2 for
Yeah.
years.
Okay,
man.
yes, I
They did
remember.
him. I'm sorry, but they did him dirty.
Did they?
Yeah.
The dude was holding it down. He beats what's his name?
But Uriah beat him. Uriah Faber beat him.
No.
Yes.
No.
Did he?
Yeah.
I know he fought TJ.
And then TJ beat him too.
No, he beat
No,
TJ.
He beat TJ.
He beat TJ, and then he beat the dude that just fought with Jose Aldo,
Marlon?
Moraes. He beats Marlon Moraes. He's supposed to get a title shot, but he
He's a draw.
He's what they say. Yeah, he's what they say. He doesn't draw enough, right?
Right.
So they just kept hanging him there, and they gave Moraes a rematch because they were trying to force that title shot on Moraes, and in that shot, Moraes beat him. He's now Rafael Assunção is fighting Cody. What's his name? Cody.
No love.
Yeah, no love.
Garbrandt.
No love. Yes, Garbrandt.
Oh, well, man, that's a big
fight,
comeback.
Good fight. Yeah.
That's a big comeback. But anyhow, so him and his brothers were the reason.
So they left the Capoeira world 5 years before I even started. Right? They come back to Miami. They left to Georgia. They come back to Miami, and I see a fight. That was the first time I went to go see Rafael fight, and that's the first time I see a live MMA fight. And the main event was Jorge Masvidal.
Get out of
Yeah,
here.
yes, he was the main event, and I went to go see my homie. I went to go see Rafael, and I was over Cesar. Right, that was my first fight, and I mean my first fight
To watch, right.
in person. And when I look, looking at him, because he was like a little brother to me, in the capoeira, I was a little more above, and looking at them doing it just made it like it's possible. That's what tells you, like, damn, I know this dude. I train with him. I can do it too.
Right.
So that's why I always thank them. I think, I think only in the last year or so I've actually verbalized that to them because we don't see each other much. They don't live here. But I tell them now, always every time I talk to them, I tell them, like, I started because of you guys.
That's awesome.
Like I didn't know that I wanted to fight like that. I didn't even know it was possible. Dealing with immigration, being an immigrant, and thinking, you can't even get in UFC. You don't got no papers. Like all of those things. All those factors were right there. So they made it look possible.
So let's fast forward just a little bit. When I met you, and we were nothing even that really. We met. I don't even know if we rode once or twice. I think we did conditioning. We did a few conditioning workouts together with Wonky. And,
South Miami Sports.
So this was South Miami Sports. This is where I met Jorge Masvidal, and I trained with George.
Yeah, I trained with him too.
Yeah, you did.
He was doing jiu-jitsu with Cincinnati.
Exactly. Daniel Valverde, who's fucking amazing, by the way. He was the jiu-jitsu coach, and ATT had just molded into South Miami Sports Performance.
Yep.
You had colored hair. What color was it?
Red.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, and it was a weird red.
You gonna talk about me?
Yeah. So he had a colored hair, and he was way heavier. He's shredded fucking Debo right now.
I was a little fat.
Yeah.
Not fat, but thick. I
Yeah.
didn't have much. I didn't have much muscle structure.
Right, and
I didn't start lifting weights till like the age of 24.
I could have sworn at that time, Baboon. To correct me if I'm wrong. You were like 4-2, 3-1.
3-1.
3-1. Okay, 3-1. So this is, fuck, man. I'm not gonna destroy the year. I think it was like 2008, maybe 7. Yeah, like 8. Okay,
Yeah, 7 or 8. Yeah.
so like 2007 or 8. Here you are, 3-1. That South Miami Sports Performance ATT, they had a weird split. Valverde and Cesar. I don't know where Cesar was in with it, but I know Valverde went to team up with the Nogueira brothers, right? So to anybody listening, the Nogueira brothers are very, very famous brothers. They're twin brothers, big ugly motherfuckers. But those are some ogre-looking motherfuckers, man, like straight up. Two sweethearts, though, from what I hear, great people.
Yeah, great people.
And then they really led Brazil for a while there. Brazil was so behind them. But anyway, so they were doing great, and they were supposed to open up their own gym. They were both already in the UFC, or at least Big Nog was. So they were supposed to open up their own gym, I think, in Coral Gables area, right?
It was in Brickell.
Brickell, okay. And they were going to do it with Daniel. Now, you were not part of it, but you were there for that whole thing. They drug you with it. You were
definitely part of it.
Yeah.
Because like I was explaining earlier, right? So then Cesar, for most people that know Cesar, Master Cesar, and a lot of people mistake about him. They look at him and they, how people judge for the way that you look or the way that you act, right?
Of course.
Cesar was that type of individual that didn't have many friends when I first met him, and if he did, they were very close friends. It was very short amount. So he opened up a friendship with Sensei Daniel, and then they realized, hey, we could work together. You have the groundwork, I have the striking, and then Daniel is like very good friends with Nogueira. So in that time, we all became Team Nogueira. So it was like, and we had Anderson Silva too.
Right.
But something happened and it fell out where Anderson Silva didn't become a real part. So it was the two Nogueira brothers. Master Cesar was not yet a business partner in that team. The business partner was Daniel. So it was Daniel and the Nogueira brothers, and it was called Team Nogueira.
Okay.
That's where everything began in Brickell, right across the street from the center, the new mall.
Okay.
That's where everything got started. And then, down the line, they wouldn't come much, So Daniel was doing the work. You don't see the Nogueira brothers. You don't see them around there. They're pushing all the work, all the weight. And Daniel and Cesar decided, you know what, man, let's do our own thing. And Daniel came up with the name MMA Masters. We were all trying to think of one, And at this time was when I was already, champion, I think. I was already holding one belt, I think, from Connecticut. And that's when Bellator came with the very first 145-pound tournament.
Right. Okay.
So that's the first time that I even thought about I'm going to 145. Because I started fighting at 170, man.
Jesus.
Like I was telling you earlier, I didn't have no sparring partners. I had no conditioning trainer.
All kind of Peruvian food.
Zero wrestling. Zero wrestling. All I did was jiu-jitsu and striking. And, I was fighting people in the cage that were a good 15, 20 pounds over me, and I didn't understand. I didn't know anything.
Right.
First fight, a minute 23 seconds. Second fight, 25 seconds. Third fight is when I noticed, because this was Jeremy Stevens. You remember Jeremy Stevens?
Yeah.
He ended up fighting at 185 in the UFC house.
For anybody listening out there, you're gonna hear a lot of name drops because dead ass Baboon has fought some super notable guys who are famous. Almost got a little bit. He's fought who's who of a lot of different states, a lot of different countries. So keep that in mind every time we come back. So he just mentioned Jeremy Stevens. Jeremy Stevens just had a title match, right? He went for the title, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
UFC, yeah. He gave him a title match.
Oh, my bad. No, not Jeremy Stevens. No.
Who?
Jeremy May, I'm sorry. No, Jeremy Stevens is short. Jeremy May is 6'3".
Oh,
My bad. No, I sparred with Jeremy Stevens in Brickell, in Team Nogueira.
Okay,
Cool dude. I've never fought him. No, I fought Jeremy May. He was in the Ultimate Fighter house.
Yeah, I know. I remember that, of course. Yeah.
185 pounds.
So that's when you felt the weight
he
difference.
couldn't even cut down to 170 no more, man.
Wow.
Bro, the day I found out about weight cutting was in my third fight. Was with him.
So look, do me a favor, and you guys can both do this because you guys know weight cutting a lot better than me. I mean, obviously me doing MMA, I know weight cutting. But as a wrestler, you know weight cutting for a whole different original reason as to where weight cutting kind of came from, in essence, to an extent. And you as an MMA fighter who also did jiu-jitsu, MMA, all kind of different sports, combat sports, explain to the people listening, what is weight cutting and why is it done? People hear a lot of like, what the fuck you mean you cut 15 pounds, 20 pounds in 2 days, 3 days? How's that even possible? It's so foreign to them. So you guys take the mic on that and explain what is the benefits of weight cutting? How's it done?
I mean, if anybody can explain it better, is the actual wrestler here. You know, like Gus is the actual wrestler here.
The OG. This was a wrestling coach I had of mine that told me the ancient reason, like the old school history lesson on weight cutting is they used to, obviously the Greco-Romans used to wrestle naked. Like they did that on purpose so they wouldn't hide like knives and weapons.
Okay.
And they were at their natural form. And then they added clothing, and they felt that they were added weight, so they would cut to whatever they weighed in at naked. So they would cut weight like that. So then that just
Never
became
heard that story.
yeah. So
pretty
then
interesting.
over the
Don't
years,
have
so then over the years, they're like, man, if I lose more weight, then I'll be stronger. So and so on and so forth. It is where it is now.
Okay. Yeah, that's fucking great. I hope if anybody reads this or sees this, leave a comment on that. That's pretty cool. I like that.
That an old school Cuban wrestling coach gave me.
How the fuck the youngest motherfucker here pulled out that legendary shit, huh? But okay, Baboon. So now bring that to the MMA world, and Gus knows this as well as being an MMA fighter. How is that done? Cutting weight. What is the average fighter? How much do they cut? And what is the benefits to it? Why are they doing it?
Well, there's no benefit to cutting weight. That's off it.
I mean, it came to a point where people started looking at it like, I'm gonna be bigger that day. It came to a point, or like I'm gonna be bigger and stronger that day because instead of fighting at 170, which I weigh, I'm gonna fight at 155. So I'm gonna dehydrate myself, lose X amount of pounds, and next day I'm gonna just blow back up and I'm gonna be heavier than him. He's gonna feel my weight.
My weight.
And I'm gonna drain him out. And you know what, man? I've lost some fights like that. I've lost some fights
for cutting
wrestlers. No, not cutting. Just fighting bigger people.
Oh, right. They were just heavier. They did that.
I'm fighting 170. My first few fights, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't weigh 170, man. I was like 168, 169, 167. Right. I fluctuate, right? This guy Jeremy May that I was telling you about,
190 pounder, for sure.
Easy, for 6'3", 190, easy, right? So then in the weigh-ins, the dude is with a sauna suit running back and forth. What the hell is this dude doing, right? So then after the fight, I didn't knock him out. My first fight was a minute 23-second knockout. 25-second knockout my second fight. My third fight went to the decision. And after the fight, he was all super cool. I asked him, hey, why you had a sauna suit on yesterday? He's like, well, I was just cutting my last 5 pounds. And I was like, what you mean your last 5 pounds? Like, yeah, man, it was cutting weight. So I asked him, how much do you weigh? And like, well, tonight, I'm like 185, 187. And then I'm like, and yesterday? Like 190 something, 185. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, no wonder when I went in the cage, I looked at him and I'm like, dang, he looks bigger than yesterday.
Right.
And I think that when it comes to the wrestling and grappling exchange, the smaller person's gonna get tired faster, man. Muscular wise, at least, you're gonna start to fade when somebody heavier and bigger is holding on to you and you're exchanging force.
So pause there. So to go back to what you said, there is no benefits. Well, that's supposed to be the benefit.
Yeah.
From my understanding, cutting weight favors more a grappler, somebody who's gonna like to put that weight on you. So he's gonna walk in lighter because when he naturally blows back up to his original weight, well, depending on how much you cut, you're not going to naturally go back to that. You were just cutting your fats out. You were just, lowering on your carb, and then you dehydrate a little bit. This guy wants to put his hands on you, and you're going to feel that weight. Yep. You might be faster than him. You might be more explosive than him because he's naturally heavier. But if he grabs you, you're going to feel it.
You're gonna get tired faster, man.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And so right now, well, when you finally kind of got the hang of it, or you after the Jerry May fight and moving on,
I fought a couple more. I fought maybe like one or two more fights at 170, and then we started dropping to 155.
How tall are you, Baboon?
5'8".
5'8". Okay.
So when I dropped to 155, like right away I became champion. Like I started like really putting it on, and then I went, and there was a time that I did like 4 fights in less than 2 months. Damn. Like if you look at my record, so I went to Connecticut, and I fought a guy there that was 5-0. He was the champion, and I took his belt. And then I came back to Miami, and I fought, what was his name? I forgot his name. He was 9-0, 5 knockouts and 5 submissions. 4 submissions, 5 knockouts, all in the first round. Never went to the second round. Ooh. And that was the second week.
That's a scary opponent to come up against.
Yeah, so I fought in Connecticut. And 2 weeks later, I came down and I fought him. And I knocked him out in 38 seconds.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And then I went.
Now, is this becoming trendy because you like to bite down? For people listening, bite down meaning, hey, I think I got a good jaw. I can take a hit, but I'm going to bring it. You like to bite down and throw some haymakers so you were catching them, or you're very precise at this point and you got a mean right hand?
At this point, I'm different. In the beginning, it was like I was straight out of the street, man. I was straight up raw. To me, it was like, I'm gonna step in there and I'm gonna hit you first, and that's all I can think about.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna hit you first. I know that when I touch you, you're gonna go down, because I had trust in my hands. So later on, I started learning more and started adding the kicking a little more. And that's when I started with the calf kick that everybody uses today.
Yeah, man.
I got video proof, man. Nobody started that before me.
Listen, and if anybody wants to argue that, I challenge anybody listening or watching, do whatever research you can. I don't know if it came from any other country. I never seen it. But I know here in Florida, I know here in Miami, I can't say that it was Baboon. Maybe you can, but I know it was MMA Masters that made it blow up. And then I heard it was Baboon who was the one who blew it up, because I saw it in your fights against
70% of my fights. I won
almost everything at World Series of Fighting. You were known for that bomb, calf kick.
I crippled him first, then I finished him.
But I think Ricardo's going to argue with you. When I say Ricardo, I mean Ricardo Lama is one of Baboon's best friends. Who lives in Chicago, still fights for UFC. He's going to say it was him.
Nah, I showed him.
You showed him. Look how you said it.
We showed him. Look, it wasn't even my invention. Let's be honest about it, right? It happened as an accident, bro. So in Muay Thai, everybody hits a thigh. Everybody kicks a thigh, right? Everybody low kick to the thigh, right? So one day I'm sparring with John Kelly. Big dude. All my sparring partners were 170 pounders now. John Kelly.
He ain't no 170. That guy's way bigger.
Yeah, well, they fight at 170, and they're like 190 something, 200 pounders, right? Those are all my sparring. Those are the people that I sparred with growing up, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm sparring one day with him, right? And I accidentally kick him on the calf. I didn't catch it. I'm not going to take the full credit. I didn't catch it. Cesar caught it. Cesar's like, you didn't notice in the break. He says, you didn't notice how his calf is? Like, he's barely putting his weight on it. Kick him down there again. I said, okay. So I go over there, and boom. And that was that.
The birth.
It became, that was the birth of the calf kick. After that, I always aimed at it, and I perfected it. Because the way that I whip it in there and the spot to hit it on, and you see now everybody using it. I used it against Masvidal. And I think that's when it started to go out, because I fought Masvidal before he fought in Strikeforce, right? And I would say a good 70% of that fight I won because I took out that leg. He was hurt for a while. I won a decision against him, but he went and uses the same exact kick that he had never used against the dude over there in Strikeforce. What was his name? That boxer, KJ Noons.
Yeah, KJ Noons is the white boy who had the slick hair.
Yeah. He pretty much won the fight. Look at the fight. And from then on, I started seeing it popping out here and there.
What's up, crazy world? You got to be a little loose upstairs if you're following us. But if you're not following us, what the hell are you waiting for? Listen, go ahead, stop what you're doing, pause. You can come right back to this. I want you to subscribe, go to YouTube. I want you to go to iTunes. I want you to go to SoundCloud. I want you to just find any platform that we're on. Follow, listen, show your love and support. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Let's get back to the podcast. So it was KJ News. That's what
KJ
it was.
News,
He had that slick hair back.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was before George fought him, or you fought him as well?
No. George fought him after our fight.
Right. Okay.
And he used that kick, man.
George used it, or AJ
Yeah,
did?
no, George used the kick
Shut
on
the
him.
fuck up,
Yeah, bro, you gotta watch the video, man. He hurt his leg. He hurt his calf.
Damn. I'm gonna want to do this research. That's dope.
You gotta think about it like this. I went to go visit ATT, right?
Okay.
And I sparred with Pitbull, Thiago Alves.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a fan of Pitbull, right? I sparred with him, and I was good with hands. Street fighter, I probably had my first 2 fights, and because Sensei Daniel was still connected with ATT.
Yeah, okay.
ATT is the one that brought him to the country or something like that. I'm not sure. Something like that. And the dude lands a low kick on my leg, on my thigh, like everybody else, Muay Thai style, right? And I'm like, damn, that hurt, And then I realized, damn, I can't do much after that, right? So that's when I started low kicking the leg, and I became really good at it. And then the accident happened.
Right.
But I never seen nobody kicking nobody's in the calf.
Right.
Nobody would do it. And after that, I would say, because Masvidal has always fought in a bigger crowd, in a bigger show. The guy has done, look where he's at now, right? And I think he just had that opportunity to have that size of viewing, where people get like, oh, did you see that?
Right. And then other people started using it from there.
I believe that it spread it out to him more than anything.
I get it. And I think that's the possibility of that is so true. It's like no one ever seen a super kick until Anthony Pettis did it. I don't know who's ever seen a thigh punch until I saw it with Ben Henderson. I don't know who else used to do it.
Yoel Romero.
Before Ben Henderson?
Yeah, I think so.
Possible. And then you got some other shit that people do that you never seen, and unless only
Josh Saman with the
yeah, he was
smash.
Crazy. So man, and the double fist.
Yeah,
man, he was crazy.
Shout out to Josh, rest in peace.
Yeah, man, that's the man.
He's a double fist.
Yeah,
bro, he would do this.
TKO'd like 3 people like that.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, man, he'll get both hooks on top of you, on back of you, and just double smash like some Hulk shit.
That is crazy.
That was crazy.
I gotta look that up too, man. So, Baboon, when did these bigger fights start coming out? I know that at some point, I know you've had multiple championship belts. You had, at what point did you have the most?
I've collected 4.
You had 2 simultaneously, and then you got another one later, and then another one later?
Yeah, I got started with the very first one was the one over there in Connecticut, that dude that I knocked out over there. And then it was, XFC, man. I found an XFC too. Remember XFC? Here in Tampa. XFC.
I know what that is.
Yeah.
And Kuwait fought for them too.
Yeah, I took the belt from.
They transitioned into RFC.
Did they?
They split. Is XFC still around?
No, I don't think so.
So I think most of them went to RFC. RFC's the bigger thing over there. We fought for them a couple times. So and they have a good. But so you got a belt from there.
Yeah, from XFC.
CFA, right?
CFA.
CFA.
Yeah, CFA, and I should have 2 belts from CFA because I have the 145-pound belt, right? And then I asked to fight for the 155-pound belt, and I won. I should have both like simultaneously.
Was that against that black dude?
Yeah,
where you had that
man.
War.
So
His name was War something.
Yes, something Ward.
Warfield or whatever.
Warfield.
James Warfield. You guys, that was a
Yeah,
good
man,
fight,
I
bro.
mean, I didn't understand this. This I think is a stupidity, from the commission because, come on, man, look, how the hell, right? I make weight, no problem. And because I'm fighting in the heavy division, of course,
easier
I
for
never
you.
miss weight, regardless. But I make weight. I show up. I beat the guy. I don't get my belt. I believe, right? If you show up and the guy shows up heavy and he wins, he doesn't get his belt.
But if you do.
But why punish me? You know what I mean? I made weight and I beat the heavier guy. You should give him a damn belt, right?
Haven't we seen that? The UFC has done that before.
Yeah, they don't make it
Yeah.
a title fight. If
Yeah,
one person misses weight, it's no longer a title fight.
Jeez, I think they gotta change that.
But I
man.
thought I saw one where it might have not been UFC. But I agree with you.
I should have 5 belts right now.
But you know that's also they might
And
want to they
pe-
might
if
want
people don't know-
to pay cut you off that. Did they pay cut you?
No, they pay you the same. They pay me.
Like if it was a title match and everything else,
Yeah. The
then
contract
give
don't
up the
change.
fucking title. It's your organization,
I mean, I'm not the one that violated any laws.
right?
Sure.
Why should I get punished? I did my work. I showed up. I won against the bigger guy. You know, I think they got to change that. Man.
If people don't know, CFA has had a lot of good fighters. Colby Covington,
Yeah.
Ashley Evans Smith, you. There's a lot of good people who
Well,
come out
they,
of
they
the
did pretty
promotion.
good, man. From what I understand, where they fucked up was they paid you guys too well. Like you were just starting off and you were getting 1,000. For people listening, fighters maybe it changed a little bit, but not really. Local places, when you show up and you show on weight and you do what you're supposed to, you start at 300. And if you win,
Nah, it's way more than that now.
No.
no, then it bounced to 4 and 4. Then it went 5 and 5
That's more than that now.
Yeah.
on an average.
Yeah. And to begin with, right now, people, fighters are getting starved right now, man. Like, I don't think it's right. I think the CFA had the right idea.
Yo, Combat Night is not starting you off at anything more than 4 and 4, bro.
Yeah, they are.
You might have got a different offer, buddy, but
Yeah,
they do not.
Well, it comes down to the fighters too. Like who you're dealing with, who's
Yeah.
Who's got a
who's
popularity?
actually putting asses on seats
Right.
to begin with, and what kind of fight are you bringing into the show, So, but I think that the whole underpayment is really bad right now, man, compared to those days when I was fighting here.
So once you had those belts, your next step wasn't World Series of Fighting yet. Didn't you go overseas first and then it became World Series of Fighting?
No, I didn't go overseas yet. I got the call for UFC at 145, but I was fighting 155, and I said no because I didn't want to cut down to 145. I wanted to do 155 in UFC, and if something went wrong,
You
I
have
dropped down to
that.
145.
Do you
Makes
regret
sense.
saying no?
That'll probably be the biggest thing I regret because I said no to that one opportunity I had, and I've beat many people that have gotten there and people that I fought many people that are still fighting there, but I already beat you to it. I already drank it. That was a mistake for me.
Is that one thing you would give other fighters advice? If you get that call, take it.
Take it, man. Because it's the biggest platform.
But only for that, though. For big platforms.
I think you do it like this, because the similar thing happened to one of my training partners. And I'd rather not even mention his name because I don't want to talk to a homie like that. But the same exact thing. So, like, advice for fighters, man. If you have somebody that's been, around you in your gym, in your vicinity, that has been around the game long enough, listen, man. Listen if you want to get further. Because if I'm training, like right now, like, for example, the last few years I've been training with Young Tigers Foundation. A lot of kids over there, humble, hungry, low income, right? And I speak to them a lot. I talk to them. They come to me for advice, But it's like, why would you make the mistakes I've already made? Like if you're gonna keep making the mistakes that I've already made, then you're in the wrong place, man. Like, take advantage of what I'm telling you because I actually lived it and I made those mistakes and it got me 0.
So how many of them have actually listened to that advice and you've seen, them implement it?
1 out of 5, 1 out of 10, maybe.
You think it's pride that makes them?
No.
I think it's
Or ego?
Ego in some of them. I think it's just plain ignorance in others.
If I was to say
They're
something,
not ready to. Some people are just not ready to grow yet, man.
Yeah.
I'll see. So that was gonna go with what I was gonna say, and it's not. I don't even know who you're talking about or whatever. But I think at the end of the day, I think it's just immaturity.
Immaturity. Okay, so with this dude, right?
You're inexperienced. You're
No,
immature.
you hit it on the point. It was immaturity with this dude, right? Because he gets the opportunity to fight in CFA, right? So he gets the opportunity to fight in CFA, and they offered him, I think it was like $5K, right? And this dude is making like 500, right? And they offered him Alexis Villa. Mind you, this dude has mentioned before that he's Alexis Villa's wrestling style is very old, that he's a better wrestler, or his style is newer, that he can beat him. He's said it before.
Talked himself up.
Now when the opportunity presents itself, yeah, it was short notice. Okay, like that's how UFC is gonna call you. It was short notice, so that's why I'm look, man. First of all, you're making less than $1,000 a fight. Okay, he was I think like 3-0 or 4-0 something like that. Right, you're gonna get an opportunity to bump up not only the money but a better platform. So this is a fight that you have 2-3 weeks to get ready for. I understand. Let's say you lose, but you give it all you give it all you got. It's a 4-fight deal you just signed. Get ready for the next 3 for real. And who's to say you're gonna lose, man?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Is this who I think it is?
Adam.
I know. I kind of know.
I know who he is.
I'm not mentioning no names, you know. So that pissed me off, man. And we kind of fell out after that, after a while of that, because he took it personal. But I'm like, man, it's like it took me years to make that kind of money. You know, and it's not about the money, but it kind of is about the money, because you have how many fighters today, right? That I went through this. You know, you working security, bouncing, and fuck, man, you gotta be up all night to go and train all day. You know, like, it's hard, man. And then you got kids, forget about it, man. Miami is one of the most expensive cities in the world, man.
100%.
You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're not making some money, like I literally sponsor myself, man. I fought out of the love, you know, and I sponsor myself, man. It's like I made some money, yeah, but I didn't make money, you know,
Right.
like I literally would fight to the next check, and yeah, I'll have some extra, of course, you know, but it was like sponsoring myself to just keep fighting out of the love of fighting, you know. Of course, always with that dream, that hope that you're gonna get that big fight, that check,
Right.
you know. But man, you got to be able to balance everything. It's not about the money, but it kind of is, man. You have to be able to find that sweet middle and take the opportunity when it's handed to you.
Right.
If they come knocking on the door, hey, you're gonna fight in this better show, which they already pay better, you know, it's a plus, man. The only thing that you're gonna lose is a possible fight. So you got 3 other fights in the contract.
Now let me ask you. You know, when you say that, I think, how can I compare that to me feeling that way when someone knows better based upon what you've taught them, what you've influenced. Like I can go on a rant about this, and I'm not, but could you somewhere there admit, if it's true, I'm kind of assuming, could you somewhere there admit that it also bugs you because in some shape or form, you put a lot of time and effort into mentoring, training, influencing him. Every bit of energy, especially if you got a pretty decent relationship with him, you know, hey man, always be ready for this, do that. Let's go a little bit extra, let's go harder. Hey, get off your ass. Hey, go to sleep earlier, whatever the fuck. That's a lot that you're putting in that never gets accounted for.
Yeah.
Never, ever does it get accounted for. And as coaches, just as coaches, mentors, coaches, big brothers to you know, anybody who needs it, you that end, you're not doing it because, but that end grateful token that they give back is succeeding, is doing what you help them reach, reaching higher platforms, you know, things of that nature. So when they don't, especially when it's a great opportunity, I think somewhere there you're like, motherfucker, are you kidding me? What the hell did I just put in 2 years of this and that all up into you for you to pass this up? So you're gonna be one of those typical motherfuckers, and then it just kind of rattles things.
Yeah, man. I mean, I got you living in my crib, you know, like I had an apartment.
Oh, that's even deeper than
Man,
damn. That changes.
It
more.
wasn't for so long.
Still,
but
whatever.
It was tournaments coming up, you know. I had other guys, you know, good friends still to today. I just don't want to put people's name out there, but you know, in CFA, I was like one of the biggest draws, right? And I was the champion, and I was getting paid pretty much well. But I sold pretty damn well myself.
Fuck yeah.
I would literally pay myself. I sell from my own hands like $15,000-$16,000 worth of tickets. So like, you know, like,
that's
literally, like, you know, like I was even sat down and be like, hey, you know what I'm saying, we gotta bring it up because you know, you know. But I was a pretty big draw in Miami, man, and
I remember.
you know, when I started, I didn't have nobody, bro. So I didn't have no training partners. I didn't have a sparring partner until my like 7th, 8th professional fight. So I always wanted that team. So when MMA Masters came together, it was like even the big 200 pounders, 170 pounders, you know, all those big guys, everybody was my little brother. And I was older than everybody.
No, and you know what? But you had that reputation. I remember you had that reputation that Baboon was the top leader at MMA Masters. You were right there. I mean, beneath, you know, obviously the senseis, whatever.
I was the first guy, so I was the older brother. You know what I mean? Everybody would come to me for advice, and I try to speak to people and help them. And so I had the CFA had tournaments, and I had a couple of the guys from the gym. I told them, look, man, I know what it is to be on a mission, driving here, driving there. You're in a tournament, focus on your tournament, bro. Just come stay at my place, And my apartment was like right there, next to downtown, and I had them stay over there and help guide them, and some of them did well, and some whatever.
You fall short, but when you don't put the effort in, then that's different. That's like when somebody gives you all their efforts, the least you can do is try your best, to complement your efforts, But we'll leave that alone. So anyhow, so you went to after CFA came.
Oh, so then when I passed the UFC
The opportunity, right?
Yeah, the opportunity. World Series of Fighting came out.
Okay.
They came up and they were just looking for somebody for Gaethje, man. And they saw something in me, and I signed with World Series of Fighting. I signed a 4-fight deal, and I came in. Who was the first guy that gave me in World Series?
It wasn't the guy that you knocked out? Well,
Spinning back kick?
No. You went against a wrestler, jiu-jitsu guy who put them hands on them.
They came to Miami.
That was before Gaethje.
They came to Miami. It was what's his name? The older dude, man. He was a legend himself. Macaco.
Oh yeah.
Macaco, yeah. George Patino.
Okay, I'm not sure who those guys are.
Dude's like he fought Pelé back in the days. Bare knuckle.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Patino had, man. He was good, man. And I beat him right there in the Hard Rock. And I finished him, And then I finished. Oh, then they gave me a wrestler that ended up getting into the UFC at 170. And he was 9-0 when I got him. Look how things happen, right? So I'm beating all these hard heads and these big dudes. And I would just see people that I beat keep going to UFC. I beat him, go to UFC. And I'm like, why the hell does that work? So I fight this other guy. He's 9-0, undefeated wrestler. And I fought him in Vegas. And I knocked him out in the first round. I knocked him out, was it the first round? Yeah, in the first round. I went to go through a high kick.
See, I remember that. And the knee tapped him.
Yeah, because the way that we trained that left high kick was knee first, because he shoots in for everything.
Exactly.
So say if he doesn't catch the foot, he's going to catch the knee first. And he went right into it. Boom.
Now, what I remember that fight correctly, and I know that we're straight up with each other. We're very, honest with each other about everything, but especially the fight game. You outstruck him because you knew he was gonna come for grappling and everything. But he tried to strike with you, but you fucking dominated. You were floating, you were all over, hands in and out, and you knew he was gonna get desperate, and then eventually you caught him and everything happened. When you fought Gaethje, I think it was after that one.
Yeah, that was the one that got me the title fight.
Yeah, they gave you the title fight. And in my opinion, if I remember correctly, at first you're whooping Gaethje. You're not destroying his face, but you're whooping him. You are just outstriking him, and I'm flipping out. I think I recorded this. I think I have it on Instagram. I'm flipping out, and I'm like, yo, do your thing, Baboon, blah, 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 all this bullshit. And then I think Gaethje caught you with a good kick. It kind of pissed you off.
On your knee that was already messed up.
No, this is what really happened. Look, Gaethje is a fucking beast, man.
Yeah.
Gaethje is a
that
beast,
white boy
man.
can take it and come some more, man.
Sparring is not probably it's the toughest fight I've had in my entire career, as far as back and forth.
Right.
And this kid, man. So what happened in that fight? We both, if you look at the video, the very first fight we had, we come in, and one thing happens: we both throw a low kick.
Blang, blang.
Okay, so my ankle part hits his chin. My ankle was like this.
Oh shit! So
that's the first thing that happened. First round. So he takes away what? My weapon, man.
Yep.
And he uses my weapon against me.
Yeah.
That's my weapon.
But you were beating him up before he did that.
Well, no. The very first thing that happened, we kicked. That's like the whole fight starts like that. We go in the first round. We both throw a low kick, and my ankle right here hits his chin. And I was like, damn. So I was like, just taking the pain and just brawling.
Oh, that's right.
That's when it began. And this dude, man, no matter what I hit him with, he would just recover and just keep coming forward like.
You had him. And then you went for the fucking knockout a little too sloppy. Oh, he had him.
And in the second round, he realized that the back and forth is getting.
You're winning it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he started going with the low kicks, man.
Yep.
He started going with the low kicks, and I didn't have, like, my ankle was so messed up, I couldn't even check the kick. I couldn't even put my weight to check kicks, man. So I keep eating them. People are like, why isn't that checking? I can't even put my weight on the leg that good. You know, like my ankle was like that.
For people listening, checking the kick, or for those who don't know, checking the kick means blocking. So
Blocking,
when you block a kick, typically you like to turn your lead leg, you like to turn your lead knee slightly outside, maybe about 45 degrees, so that you're attempting to have their shin, which is where the kick is coming with, their shin hits your kneecap. That whole big knee structure, you're gonna win that fight.
Kneecap or the shin?
Yeah.
Shin to shin.
And or shin to shin.
Better than getting in the thigh.
But you don't want that to hit the outside of your leg in any shape or form, hit the muscles, hit the tendons, and any of that. And so when he's talking about checking, in order to lift that leg and turn it outside, you have to direct your weight to your back leg. So he could not shift the weight to his back leg in order to lift the front leg to block there because of the injury that he sustained in round one. And because of that, he had to just sit there and take some mean ass kicks from an angry white boy.
He finished me with the low kicks. He finished me.
I remember you fell at that point.
Third round, I think it was.
And then so then after that, by the way, I think that got no. Then you had fight of the year.
Fight of the year.
Fight of the year.
We broke NBC Sports ratings. Records.
Right. Yes.
We broke the records. It was the first time my name ever trended. I was trending, and it was huge, man. So I'm in the airplane and I come back home, right? You know how you feel after losing a fight, right?
Of course.
And once I land in Miami, my phones go, all the texts and, the messages. And I'm like, what? And I'm reading this stuff and I'm looking at it and my whole family, like everybody's out there waiting for me in the airport, like never before. And I didn't realize how big the fight really was. I just thought, damn, I lost my fucking belt,
Yeah.
I lost a chance to get that beautiful belt. It's going to be my 5th belt, right? And then before I even get out of the airplane, the president, he calls me. Ray Sefo calls me. He's like, "Hey, look, He's
talking about the president of the company, not the president, folks.
The president, Ray Sefo, was the president of WSOF, which is now named PFL.
Right.
He calls me. He literally just told me flat out, "Look, we're doubling your contract, and we're giving you a rematch." And I was like, "All right." So I put a smile on my face. I could literally double. I could never had any organization do that for me. So he literally doubled my numbers.
Damn.
To re-sign another 4-fight deal and start with a rematch.
But you didn't get the rematch right away.
Yeah, I got the rematch right away.
Yeah, you did.
I thought you did the tournament.
Like 5 months later. Then I went in the tournament to fight him
Oh,
again.
shit, that's right. I forgot. Because Gaethje was like, I don't want to fight Palomino again. that boy keeps putting too much of a hurting on me. And then the second fight.
That was the fight that I messed up. In that fight, that was where I really messed up. Because in the first fight, I wasn't as conditioned. Second fight, I have no excuses, man. No excuses. I was well conditioned. He didn't take out my leg because I was good, right? He literally got me. And it's the only fighter in my 43 professional fights that has ever got me. Which it can happen to any fighter.
Anybody.
I look at the tape over and over again. I throw the same combo over and over again in the pocket. Man, if you see the video, he has both arms. He's covering his face like this.
Yep.
He's not even looking where he's going.
At all.
But it's the same combo he's receiving. He's going boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
Boom, boom, boom. And when in one of those, he went boom, 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 and he threw the overhand, landed.
Boom.
Now, was my lights out? No. I wasn't lights out. I started to get up and separated. Boom. It was already fight
stopped,
over. Right. Well, then we were fighting in his camp, in his city. But he got me.
And if you guys want to know about Justin Gaethje, right?
I heard him before that, though.
Right, you heard him? I know.
I heard him
he was
before that.
wobbling.
Yeah, he was
Yes,
wobbling.
I know.
Yeah.
Gaethje is, I think, I don't know what his rank is, but
Justin, the highlight gauge is now number 3
he should have,
in UFC.
honestly, he should have fought Conor McGregor on his comeback, not Cowboy,
Yeah.
because Gaethje should be next in line for the belt out of the winner of Khabib and Tony Ferguson.
Yep.
And that's just it. Everybody knows this. Anybody who's a fan knows this. So if Conor really wanted to grab his nads, he should have came, fought him, and then who wins is automatically the next one up for the winner of the belt. But that's just how badass Gaethje is. He's been in some wars. When he went to the UFC, he got beat twice and bad. But that guy is still a gangster, still very known, still the same type of fighter. Might move a little bit more. I don't know. He's got dynamite in his fucking hands, man. That kid's got dynamite in his hands and a
Whole
chin
lot of heart, man.
and a heart
Whole
out
lot of
this
heart.
world. He
Whole
takes a
lot of
whooping and stays in the game and comes
He's
back,
there
bro.
to fight.
Yeah. He's great to watch, and everybody knows it. He's probably got another give or take, depending on his success or failure. He's probably got another 2 or 3 fights, and he's gonna walk away. He made it seem like he was before, but now he's got a belt opportunity. So
Yeah, he's there. I think we're gonna see him for a little bit.
I think he's gonna fight Conor next.
I
Connor's coach said he
would love to
wants
see
to
that.
see that.
Connor's coach.
Connor's coach said it.
Yeah.
Callahan said it's not up to me, it's up to Conor. But I would love to see a fight against Gaethje. Why do I think that's the better fight? Well, now we know Nick Diaz is gonna go against whatchamacallit. I thought Conor would have had a better fight with Nick Diaz while waiting for Khabib because it's a trilogy. I think it's a way easier fight. Not to disrespect Nick Diaz, but I think it's a way easier fight. And massive amounts of attention because of the trilogy. But Callahan said that he wanted Gaethje, and I think his reason is because Gaethje's susceptible to good hands. You got good hands. You hit him, and Conor's a sniper.
Gaethje will stand there with you.
Yeah.
He's an awesome wrestler, man. But
Yeah.
He wants to get into a brawl.
Brawl.
With you.
You're right.
Like,
You're right.
His name is perfect. The highlight, that's his name. But I think if they really picking that fight, it's because of that, because they believe Conor can pick him. He's a sniper.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
Sniper.
He can pick, But then again, it's going to take more than just one good one to get you
Gaethje.
down.
We haven't seen just one.
You seen him go down from a knee?
Bro, no. Gaethje has
face?
taken punishment.
Exactly.
Stay right there.
You don't see him with a one-punch shot?
Nah, doesn't happen. Doesn't
Man,
happen.
can take a hit, man.
Yeah. So anyhow, then after that, you did the tournament again, and then you came up short. You beat one, and you came up short in the next one.
Yeah.
Then I believe you went overseas.
Then I went, in that time, I had recently separated from my ex, and I was coming for the first time, ever, out of 4 losses in a row. There were, 2 against Gaethje, 1 in the tournament. I mean, it's 3 fights in one night, right? I lost the second one. And then I fought again in over there.
Yeah, you got robbed somewhere.
Yeah, that was bullshit, but whatever. But it's 4 losses. So I'm looking at my record. I'm like, damn, 4 losses in a row. So got to change something. You can't get something different when doing the same thing, right?
Right.
So I made a decision, man, because my son was living with his mom, and man, that woman. Anyways, yeah, bro. It is, like she literally would just take my son away, and like I wouldn't see him for months and stuff like that. So whatever. So in that time, I said, let me just give him his time to be, with her, and I'm separating from this woman. I sold everything, and I said, I need to change something, and I went to New Mexico. I was aiming at alpha male. I was gonna go to alpha male, and I don't know. I think it was an old sponsor of mine that directed me more to New Mexico, and I joined Jackson Wing Camp over there, and within 8 months. 6 to 8 months.
So Jackson Western Camp is one of the best camps.
Man,
Got
crazy.
a bunch of amazing fighters, a lot of them in the UFC.
I loved it.
Yeah, did you?
I loved it.
Nice, bro.
The city, however, it was perfect because
Albuquerque don't got shit to do.
When you're coming from Miami, man,
Exactly.
but it was perfect because you want to focus on something.
Yeah, you got no distractions.
Yeah, I was always in a mountain. There was this mountain called Sandia Mountain, like 13,000 feet above sea level.
Right.
I loved it, man. I loved it. And then
Where were you shacking up?
In the gym. They have dorms.
Oh, they do have dorms. I didn't know that. Okay.
At fighter dorms.
Yeah.
Like ATT.
Yep. And it came to the point where there was this Russian dude that works there in the office. And he's the one that got me into ACB, which is now ACA. And then ACA came for the first time ever to the States, and they did their show in California. And I haven't been to California since I had left California. So I was like, oh, hell yeah, I want to go fight over there. So I fought this dude that was like on an 8-fight win streak. He was supposed to win this fight and go to UFC. That was it. Like everything was ready for him. And he was like the nephew of one of the owners of the organization. Because the dude came in, right, and they wanted to change the contract all of a sudden. from 145 to 155. And I was like, no. Like, it's like I land in Irvine, California on Monday. We're fighting this Saturday. And you want to change the contract by 10 pounds. I'm like, no, I've already done my whole diet, you know, like I'm ready to go. And then they kept forcing it. And then it's okay, 150. And I'm like, look, man, if he doesn't make weight, he need to give me 20% of his purse. That didn't happen.
He didn't make weight.
You know, they didn't want to disclose how much he got paid.
Oh. So he was their front page. He was their.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the nephew of one of the dudes over there, you know, so it's like, there was money there, you know?
Right.
So they didn't want to disclose. They didn't want to do it by percentage, whatever. And then I think we landed on, I think like 2,000 or something like that.
What's going on, beautiful people? Just want to take a moment to thank everyone out there for tuning in. We continue getting so much love and support and appreciate every bit of it. But on that note, if you're a new listener or simply someone who's interested in following our journey, please take a second to subscribe to our channel or download whatever necessary app in order to never miss a show. Also, why not give us a follow on Instagram at BlackSheep305 and at Gus Villamil. Again, we truly appreciate all the love and support and look forward to continuously giving everyone listening a different perspective. Now let's get back to the podcast.
Yeah, man. So that elevation training, when I came down, this guy's taking me down, you know, like I told you before, like people, especially a bigger guy, right? And it's taking you down. That's going to suck some life out of you, man.
Damn right, yeah.
Especially when you're not a wrestler. I was never a wrestler. I didn't start wrestling until I started fighting pro. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, if you're not conditioned to do that up and down exchange, the one that's going to wear out is you. Man, I was so well conditioned.
Yeah.
That I got him tired of holding me down.
So explain the fight real quick. What round was it? First
round.
So he was trying to take you down the whole time.
You were already exhausted in the first round?
No,
he wasn't. No, Baboon wasn't.
No,
He's saying the other guy. The other guy
he
was.
just kept holding me down. I just get up again. I get up again. And then the guy was fading away. You know?
Gotcha.
And that's when I clipped him. You know, I clipped him with like a hook, I think it was. And some knees, and I finished him. Pop, knock him out. So every time I go around a new fan that follows me or somebody that knows me that follows me, and just the other day, the restaurant you were telling me about that I had a gourmet dinner.
Yeah.
I was Pabelli's, right? So this dude is buying some tickets for my fight, you know, upcoming fight next week, and he invites me to Pabelli's, and he works over there. He's like general manager, and he treats me and my girlfriend, right, whatever. And he's like, hey man, I've been wanting to ask you this for like, because he follows all my fights, right? And this is like the first time I see this dude in years, you know? So I'm like, I just wonder that day when you fought the Russian, and what happened? What did he say to you? Because in the end of the fight's on YouTube, right? If you see the fight, his name is Musa Kamanaev. He says, in the end of the fight, he comes to me. You know how people come and they give each other a hug or something, right?
Right.
So he comes and I put my arm around him because I think he's trying to hug me, but he's grabbing me by the shoulder, going like this with his finger, spitting saliva into my mouth as he says, next time I fucking kill you.
What?
And I just looked at this dude and said, pop, and I popped him in front of the commission, in front of everybody.
Are cameras still rolling? Is this in the middle of the ring?
This is in the middle of the cage.
Before they even announced you and said congratulations?
Yeah.
We got to look this shit up.
I knocked him out. I walk away from one side of the cage to the other side of the cage. And if you look really well, right, you see a mouthpiece flying right by me. So yeah, threw his mouthpiece.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, bro. I still have his mouthpiece. I took it with me to Russia, and I never saw him. I was going to give it to him, but I never saw him. I'm like, yeah, I got your mouthpiece.
Oh, I didn't know they brought him from Russia for this fight.
It was the first time the ACB came to America. They never came back again. They haven't came back to America again.
So you fucking hurt the paper boy, man. And
you know, I think it had to do with the dude that they trusted on. That guy did a horrible job, man, of advertisement and everything. You know, it was one of those guys. But I think that's what happened more than anything. This dude, however, was suspended from fighting. So I thought I was gonna get in trouble too, because at the moment I wasn't thinking. Because the guy stuck his finger in my mouth, man. He spit in my mouth.
That's it.
So I popped him.
And at that point, you have the right to.
Yeah, and the commission separates it, blah, blah. And the commission said, no, I saw it. He tells me, no, I saw everything that happened. It's okay. He and I know everything that's been going on with the weight and everything. Don't worry about it. He's gonna get suspended for this, and they suspended him. He can't fight in the States.
Fuck him. Yo, to throw your mouthpiece at somebody is damn near as disrespectful as just spitting on them, because your mouthpiece is full of your fucking spit and you're throwing it at somebody.
Like, it's not like it was a decision, bro. You got knocked out. You know, like, calm down.
Yeah, dude. Like, what
You know
are you mad at? Did you do something illegal? No, he just mad that you won. That's it. So, okay, so that happened, a couple years back, or how long ago was that?
Yeah, it's a few years, man. What, 3?
So after that had to feel good, because, like you said, it's hard to come back from these losses. Yeah. It's something different when you take a loss, like, let's say, to the Gaethje, because it was so big and you did so good, and then, you had the injury. It's a little bit easier to bounce back from that, but then you had the other 2. You're like, fuck, now it's 4. You get this win, you're reinvigorated. What follows? Now you go to Russia?
So now I have this this contract with them. I have 3 more fights left, and they flew me out to Grozny to fight the dude's, like, training partner. And you ever been to Grozny?
Shit sounds cold and ugly.
I don't even know where that is.
Not to mean no disrespect, but yeah, it's the Chechenian. It's like a Chechenian part, like.
I don't even know what that is.
So you know how the Russia's like 2 parts, right? So it's like the Chechen Republic, right, and then the other side, right, and this side is like very strong in the Muslim religion, and all that. That's that president. What's his name?
Putin?
No, that's the cool one. The other one, that
Putin's cool.
Well,
yeah.
Compared to the other dude.
All right.
Well, the other dude, it does videos of him on YouTube, and it's like, we don't want no gay here. Like,
the president said we can't have no gays here?
Oh, you gotta see the YouTube videos, man.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. It's like, whatever. That's it's their thing, their religion, how they live.
But did you get to do anything interesting over there? Like,
oh man, I didn't, not there. I didn't have no, that was literally just, you're in a hole to fight, and they had their own thing, their own plaza, their own everything, bro. Like, ACB is that dude's organization. You know what I mean? He's like a big fan of MMA and stuff. I don't know his name. And so when I went down there and I landed in the airport, and the guy that picks me up, he's like, Baboon, don't look at woman.
Oh, shit.
Don't touch woman. Don't play with woman.
God damn.
Like, I'm good, bro. I'm just here to fight. Just here to fight. And it's like, I only had like 2 pairs of shorts. I brought jeans and stuff.
You didn't think this one out there.
And they're like, pants only outside. No shorts outside. So, like, even men can't wear shorts.
Damn, bro. I can't give a motherfucker a heads up notice.
I didn't know nothing.
Did they tell you why?
No, it just told me what it is.
Part of the belief. You didn't see when UFC went over there to what's his place called, Abu Dhabi, that Matt Serra and Dean Thomas, they came out of their lobby in this extremely rich whatever the fuck hotel, and they stopped them and paused them and, what are you doing? Because they had shorts on. They made them sit down and they said, don't walk anywhere. And they went and grabbed a big blanket and they laid the blanket over their fucking knees as they sat down and said, don't go anywhere until we find you some pants to put on.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that.
That's. I guess that's a strong belief of theirs. I don't. Either it happened there because we're too fucking rich and bougie over here, and we're not allowed to walk around in shorts because of the hotel, or that's just something of that belief. I don't know. I don't know if it attaches anything to Muslim. I don't know, or if that's over there in the Asian countries. The far west, far east. I don't know. But it's funny that you're saying that, because that's immediately what I think about. When they told you that. Damn, what an awkward way to get ready for a fucking however many days you're there.
It was weird, man. But I'll tell you this much though: the people are really fans of the fighting, so they had a lot of respect.
Listen, did you go to the store and go get pants? What'd you do?
No, man. You could wear pants in the buildings.
Shorts in the building.
You can't wear it in the street. Shorts. You can't wear shorts in the street. You can wear it while you're in the building, you're training in the room, So I wasn't going anywhere. So I had 2 jeans.
That's crazy, though. And was it cold or no? It wasn't that cold?
No, it wasn't like in the summertime. It wasn't cold. It was fresh.
So was this the guy that you fought when we were working together? And I saw the video, and the guy just He got his takedowns but did nothing.
This one you won.
Not that one. Not that one.
This fight you won, right? This was his teammate.
No, I lost that fight. I have a 3rd-degree tear of my PCL. All right, so, and I'm sorry, and it wasn't the first fight. I had fought a Brazilian first in St. Petersburg.
Yeah, that was after the guy you knocked out.
Then
you won that one.
I knocked out the guy. I beat the guy in St. Petersburg, and then I went to go fight this dude that is the #1 contender, and whoever wins the fight goes for the title next.
Okay.
And he was undefeated, and training. I've always had problems with the right knee.
Right.
I had a partial tear of the MCL, and 2 weeks before the fight, I tore my PCL, like a full tear. Right, so that's the ligament that holds the knees from going forward and back.
Okay.
So like it's like an X ligament, right? So this side is all off, right? And that's the first time I ever take a cortisone shot. You know, like I've never done that.
Right.
So I took a pain blocker because I was like 2 weeks from the fight, and like barely like move and walk, whatever. So then I started moving around, but the blocker works so damn well that you think you're okay. And then I aggravated my patella tendon.
Oh man.
And I strained my ACL.
That's the problem with taking shots like that.
Yeah, I didn't understand, right? I thought I was okay.
Right.
So I kind of aggravated my ACL, and I had a swollen patella, and I had to go fight like that, bro. I'm not gonna back off in the fight, so I want to go fight like that. And like that, I lost the decision against the undefeated guy, and it was such a show. They gave me a 10K bonus.
Fuck yeah.
You know, fight of the night, 10K bonus.
Now,
And over there, they give it to you in cash, don't they?
Yeah, I always got paid in cash.
you flew over here with.
Yeah. You've never done that.
I didn't have it all.
This guy spread it out for sure.
Well, there's ways of doing that.
It wasn't just me out there.
You know what? To be honest with you,
We didn't come back in illegally.
The cap, from my understanding, the cap is 10 grand cash is the most you can have on you when you get on a flight, if I'm not mistaken. And then there's even other ways around it, depending on where you're going. If you're just like, yo, I'm gonna go. Like, if you're going to Vegas, you can probably take more.
I pay taxes on it regardless. So
yeah. So okay. So anyhow, did you feel like he actually did beat you? You weren't mobile enough. You didn't do enough or something.
I couldn't sprawl whatsoever. He did take me down a couple times. He didn't do any damage.
Right.
Whatsoever. Like the way that I went in, I left. Not even a mouse, nothing. I couldn't really put power behind my right hands. I would say he won the decision. It was very close.
Okay.
But yeah, he won the decision. I would say so.
So then, what came after that one? Well, that wasn't when you were with us. There still came another one, right?
No. Then I fought.
This guy's fought too many for me to keep track of. Bro.
Yeah, man. I fought a couple of Russians out there, man. Then I went to Slovakia.
You never got to enjoy any of these places?
Slovakia trip I enjoyed because we fought in Slovakia, but an hour away from Slovakia is what you call this? My favorite trip out of all those trips over there.
I was never good at geography.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, where's he from?
Oh, Holland.
No, is he?
He's Dutch, isn't Schwarzenegger?
Isn't he Australian?
Oh no, Austria, not Australian.
Austria.
So we were like border.
I was looking stupid until you said what you just said.
I knew it was Austria.
then you beat me.
Austria.
Yeah, you're right.
Austria is beautiful.
Is it now?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was in Vienna.
Okay,
Vienna's
nice.
Man, I didn't want to leave. Man. I did some seminars out there. Even after the fight, I stayed for like another week. Man, the food.
What's the longest you stayed at one time?
2.5 weeks probably.
Okay, that's good.
No, I love that one. That was my favorite trip out of all of them.
The food's good?
I would say, yeah.
What type of food is it?
I
have no clue what.
Okay, so you know the what's it called, milanesa?
Mm-hmm.
We eat here. That's where it comes from. So the milanesa is like that, the baby cow, no?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I was just about to ask you guys what's milanesa.
They do it like breaded, like the breaded steak.
Okay.
No, milanesa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? I suck at my names. Okay.
Bruh. So over here, you gotta buy everything over there is organic.
Everything, so you taste the difference.
Man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I still can. That was really good. And then you know how in Miami there's coffee stations everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So in Vienna it's like that. There's coffee everywhere and hot chocolate.
Good coffee.
And croissants and their chocolates.
Don't start talking about croissants.
Christ, man.
Croissants are evil.
I'm hungry.
I'm a little hungry too.
Have you ever had the
I asked if you wanted me to order food. We'll get something to eat after this.
Eat in front of me.
Yeah, Baboon's gonna get tortured in about an hour or so when he goes.
It wouldn't even faze me. Because when I was, with Cesar and Daniel, they would always, like, I'm conditioned. They would always eat in front of me, and you get used to it. But have you ever tasted almond croissants from?
I know this is gonna sound fucking weak as hell, but I guess in my journey, I've always trying to clean up my diet. Which, by the way, let me give a shout out really quick to the Yielding Seed. They just became a sponsor of mine, and we're meal preps, and that's dope. I'm ecstatic about that because
what's the name of the meal prep?
Yielding Seed.
Okay.
The Yielding Seed. It's difficult, when you got a busy schedule, especially as a fighter, and then doing multiple things. Not that I'm an active fighter anymore, but the podcast, my job, my dogs, whatever the fuck. But I do really strongly believe in eating healthy. And by the way, I know Gus is gonna be on board with that. We also got news about the management and all that. But I'm always trying to clean my diet up. And I'm pretty damn fucking good. Even though my eating is a little lame, I'm pretty good. I don't mind to eat some bullshit if it comes down to it. We can go to the local bar and I'll get a burger and fries and won't think twice about it. Yeah. But consciously, I try to eat well. So I haven't had a croissant, bro. You guys gonna think I'm lying, man. Once I found out,
I think that's the best bread. Like anything
yeah, of
that's
course.
like bread.
Once I found out how not poisonous, but just how fatty, like literally the two worst things you can eat as far as the combinations that they have in them and why they're so bad for you is pizza and croissants.
I won't give it up though.
They are top 3, top 5. So ever since I read that, I barely eat pizza, but I never eat croissants. But I guess they're phenomenal.
Look, if you're gonna put another croissant,
go where?
You're gonna go to True Love.
Is this here in Miami?
Yeah, man.
True Love.
True Love.
You already got me.
You just ask for the almond croissant. Don't say no more.
That's it.
I'm addicted, like literally addicted to that croissant.
Is it possible to make croissants?
But now I'm gonna put you on now, and it's even closer. It's called Specialty. It's right in front of the fair, by FIU. They have dulce de leche croissant, Nutella croissant.
Christ. You guys are ridiculous.
Yo, I shout out to Alvin because he put me on that place, and it's fully organic. It's a vegan place.
Yeah,
organic.
this one's organic too.
It's fire. If you want a special treat, especially during your fight camp, it's.
What exactly? We were talking about cooking earlier on. For those listening, Baboon he's a very inspired, cook. He's not claiming to be the best. But he's definitely a foodie, but he's got an amazing girlfriend who's like just a walking chef. She's one of those very gifted people. I myself, my mom was always a fucking chef, and even though she never was, she's just still a bomb. So I like to cook. You like to cook. We both love good food. We were talking about that earlier. Let me ask you this, in case you know the answer. Maybe you know it, Gus. I don't know. Is there a healthy way to make a fucking croissant? Can you do it with like 100% whole wheat flour, or no? That would kill the texture. It's not possible.
Man, look,
I think it'll kill the texture.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Look, my mom can cook. My girl can cook. I can cook. Baking is a whole nother monster.
Oh, word. Yeah, I don't bake. I'm
going to buy my croissant.
I'm
going to buy and I'm going to try those over there too.
Damn, well, shout out to that, man. Now y'all going to make me do it one of these. One of these days I'm going to get blasted and go fucking get some of that shit, but whatever. So anyhow, let's fast forward a little bit, Baboon. So you were contemplating walking away from MMA because of the injuries, because you had, people, when you get ready for MMA, there's so many levels to how much you have to practice. And if you're on a professional level, you have to practice even more and harder. If you're on the elite level that Baboon is at, every guy he's fighting is a fucking up-and-coming, undefeated, soon-to-be world champ. You heard about us talking about it. So many people who fought Baboon are in the UFC or made it to the UFC. So it's another level of training. You literally, and some can argue how much or how often, but you literally are probably doing 2 practices a day on average, not every day, but on average 3 or 4 days a week. Those entail wrestling.
That's rookie numbers, dog.
I know, you're right. I get it.
MMA 2 to 3 times a day, Monday to Friday.
Yeah. No, I know. I guess I didn't want to say it like that because then people are gonna be like, "Come on, bro, you're exaggerating."
Monday through Sunday.
Well, it depends on the camp you're in.
As well, yeah, you're right.
I'll stand behind it. I don't think any other sport trains as hard as
it's not possible.
No, it's impossible.
And then, so now think of the levels that we're talking about for anybody who doesn't know much about mixed martial arts. This podcast is not an MMA podcast, not by far, but I love when we got great fighters like Baboon and we get to, kind of use this platform to tell people a little bit about MMA. You have the stand-up, which is considered striking. Okay, stand up as in striking. That can be anything that's striking: karate, kung fu, Muay Thai, boxing, or everything mixed up, which is what you want to be. The ultimate warrior in the future is going to be a fucking ninja. They can do it all. Then you have the grappling aspect of it, the wrestling grappling aspect of it. Now that there's different levels of wrestling, Greco wrestling. You guys know more
Freestyle, folk
freestyle.
style.
But basically, that means I'm trying to put my hands on you and somehow, shape, or form get you to the ground. That's the second level, okay? I got to put these hands on you and I want to get you to the ground. Then you got jiu-jitsu. And that's when you're on the ground, you're either pulverizing somebody or you're keeping control of them while you look for some type of lock, submission, or whatever. 3 different levels. Then you have your workouts. You have to maintain certain
Strength
amount
and
of power,
conditioning.
strength and conditioning, certain explosiveness. Then if you get hurt, you have certain recovery. Bro, it's nonstop. It's difficult.
It's a full-time job, man.
Yeah, and it tears your body up.
Yep, big time.
It tears your body up. And Baboon, right now, even though you don't look it at all because you're in phenomenal shape, how old are you again?
39.
39. This boy don't look nothing like 39, man. So you decided, or at the time you were contemplating maybe not doing MMA anymore, but you were going to do boxing. And I remember you were going to go pro boxing. You started fighting some local fucking undefeated bad motherfuckers here in Miami.
Yeah, they ain't local. They're known.
Oh yeah, you're right. They're actually not local at all. They're nationally known. They're champions, world champions, and everything. And you've done good with them. They built your confidence up on that boxing tip. Now the training is different. It's 20 times easier for you.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
I don't want to say that it's easy, but
Bring the mic a little bit to your.
I don't want to say that it's actually easy because I don't want to put like anybody's sport.
But I understand what you mean because that's what I
But
see.
it's so much less exhausting, man. It's like
It's less stressful. It's
Yes.
less exhausting. It's
man, like you were just saying, look, MMA,
and it's in one
striking
location.
class, exactly. Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, Jiu-Jitsu with judo, strength and conditioning. You gotta go run. You gotta go swim. Like it's nonstop. You know, boxing is like okay, now I can get in there, but so like when it came to the decision, it's like I've lost my last few fights. I haven't gotten beat up.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I know.
So, but I'm losing decisions. You know, some of them I don't agree with, but I'm fighting the guy in his backyard in another country. I know when I signed the contract that I have to finish this guy to win this fight. I know this.
Exactly.
Okay? So I take the part of the responsibility. But the truth is, when I go and spar with somebody, like right now, you tell me, okay, you're going to go and spar with Justin Gaethje, Conor McGregor, you name them, whoever you want right now. So we're going to go spar. That means I'm going to put on my wrestling shoes, my knee brace, right? My gloves on, you know, everything, right?
Spar wrestling shoes.
Yeah.
Bastard.
I prefer to.
I hate people who
I
do
never
that.
did it.
I
I never
do.
did
Shit
it before.
hurts.
I never did it before. But I have to.
Yeah,
because
because of your toe.
Because I have a toe. The toe. Hell, I laugh because Gus knows what's up. And Rick Lamas always makes fun of my toe.
I know.
I have a toe. 'Cause all of this is partially my fault, man. You know, because I'm 39. I don't have the time to be like, okay, I'm gonna just take a year to do this surgery. I don't have the time.
Right.
You know, so I have a toe that I have bone fragments stuck inside that joint, so it doesn't bend upwards. So if I throw a right hand, or if I try to shoot like a wrestling shot or sprawl, that toe doesn't bend. So if I have shoes on, I have, you know, the rest of the fingers that bend, the rest of the toes, right? So with the shoes on, I can sprawl, I can torque my right hand, turn and pivot, you know, like I can shoot in myself, you know, I can, you know, I can do everything else. And I have my knee brace. I can
So the compression from the shoes, from the wrestling shoes,
I can do
allows that.
MMA, right? Now, take off the shoes, take off the knee brace, and I got to go and fight without it. I have no torque on my right hand. I have no sprawl. I can't even shoot it on you. I'm boxing MMA fighters. So that's why I made the decision, you know what, let me do this boxing thing, right? So boxing was my first love. But I don't want to say the boxers are scared, but I've been offered last-minute calls. 10-0 boxer, 15-0, 20-0, 22-2. I've gotten names and I've gotten records, right? And I say yes. And they say no. I'm not gonna say they're scared of me. They're just being smart because
Right, with their career.
yeah, because what do they get?
They know you're a legit ass threat.
So what do they get out of beating a 39-year-old with a 0-0 boxing record? That you look up on YouTube and like, oh shit, this dude got some power behind his hands. He got his balls in the right place. You know, he's dangerous.
Yep.
Right?
Yep,
You know?
yep.
So like, okay, so they beat me, what do they win? They don't win anything. And if they lose big.
Yep.
So I could understand. So that's when the other side came out, you know.
And that's where we're at right now. So this weekend coming up, today's the 8th again, and 15th, day after Valentine's Day. Are you going to go on a date with that guy or what?
Yeah. For 1 second, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Which guy was
Which guy? Wait,
Yeah,
did I tell you about that guy? What's I tell you? Don't say anything. No, I'm playing with you. But the day after Valentine's Day, the 15th, Bare Knuckle. Okay, so we have a Bare Knuckle organization over here. It is really popular. It's all over the TV. It's actually becoming, I don't know how popular. I don't want to talk it up with fucking up the numbers, but it is raising in popularity immensely. A lot of UFC fighters, ex-fighters are going there. Basically, it's not where, oh, your career's over, go there. No, it's, again, the body's so tore up, it is too difficult to continue training at this point, the MMA training. But everybody can do some let's just throw hands training, and these guys all been throwing hands for the last 10, 15, 20 years. So they're going over there, and they're putting on amazing fucking fights. I mean, some a little too bloody for others, but, you know, it is what it is. This is where it all originated from, bare knuckle, organized bare knuckle fighting. That's where it all came from. What's the rule? What's the first rule of a Fight Club? There is no Fight Club, you know what I mean? So, and this is where it all came from, bare knuckles, and you're going back to your goddamn roots, and like a lot of fighters have. And it's a ginormous card because they have some of the best, and it's going to be on there. First, we got a mutual friend of ours. You're a lot closer to him. You're a lot closer to him right now. You actually train with him, Gus. UFC veteran, Bellator veteran. This guy was an animal. This guy was known for knocking Bellator champ. Yep. That's right. I forgot. For a minute, was undefeated. I think 22-0, 23-0. Yeah, for a while. Super known from Miami. Came from Cuba. His name is Hector Lombard. So everybody knows what Hector Lombard is for the most part. He's headlining the fight. The co-main event is Jim Alers, another super, super known local who also fought in the UFC, also fought across the seas, also a great fighter, has his own gym down here. He's undefeated in bare knuckle. I think he's 3-0.
3-0 with 3 knockouts.
And he loves it. That boy's meant for that shit, man. Good. Yeah, man. He's doing great. Really happy for him. And then you are number 3, right? You're a co-main event?
Yeah.
So you're before the co-main event. Who's your opponent, Baboon?
Elvin Brito.
I'm not sure.
He's also fought in bare knuckle a few times.
Okay. So
the dead man.
So yeah, exactly. And then you got Yuli before you. So we got some hometown representation going on with fucking animals, dog. I swear to God, I can't wait to tune into this shit next week. And when you guys hear this,
you're in the tournament, aren't you?
Yeah.
He might fight Jim Alers next.
Oh, I know. I thought about that, dog. Oh man.
Next, because
you would move up.
We're in a different brackets.
Yeah.
So we agree that we see each other at the end.
That would be absolutely.
But isn't
epic.
it? It's 4 people in total.
No, it's supposed to be 3 fights. I seen a post like that. You know,
yeah,
it kind of confused me a little bit.
That's what I'm talking about. There was 2. It was 2.
I signed a contract for 3 fights.
So you fight somebody now, you win.
I fight or win.
Then you find the winner of whatever, and then whoever wins that, you go fight the other bracket.
That's what I was told.
And that's what Jim is supposed to be doing. He fights, he wins, he fights, he wins, and then you guys see each other if it happens.
That's the contract that I signed.
Well, I guess we'll get some.
I think it's you guys both win, then you fight each other, and then you got 2 other.
No.
Well, we'll figure. Let's not. We won't confuse people listening. But regardless, it's going to be your first, not your real first bare knuckle fight, but it's going to be your first fight for the bare knuckle organization. Legal. Yeah, first legal.
First legal bare knuckle fight.
Tell us a little bit about how you feeling, man. How the training's been going. Who you've been working with. Who's going to be in your corner. You know, and all that good stuff moving forward.
Man, I feel amazing, man. I feel so. I mean, it's a hunger that doesn't go away, you know.
Right.
So it's like that animal that never really went to sleep. It's like awakening all over again, you know. Every morning you wake up and you want to get that push going, you know.
You feel like it's a new motivation since it's something.
Yeah, you know, it's like it feels new, and it is new.
It is new. It's different.
Record. It's a brand new record. I'm 0-0.
Yeah.
You know, so debuting is something that you know. It's actually like my shit, you know. This is my shit. This is how I started, you know. As far as who I've been working with for the last almost 5 years, I've been working with Tigre.
Shout out to Tigre, Eric Castellanos.
Eric Castellanos is a man.
Castaños.
Yeah, 5-time kickboxing world champion. You know, he's been trained so many of those fighters coming out of.
You know, we're gonna get him a fight there, right?
Yeah.
You already heard, right?
And you know who he's gonna fight. No, I'm not saying.
Well, he's talking about maybe Margarito, but I don't know. I don't know if it'll be Margarito or it'll be.
Maybe somebody before that.
Yeah, exactly. It might be somebody local too. You don't know. But yeah, but shout out to Tiga. So Tiga is an amazing guy for people listening. That he's been. You know, I had a great talk with him when we went to the media day when you were over there when Gus shitted on you. Remember that day? Okay. Anyhow, but I had a long talk with Tiga there, a great talk, and we were talking about his possibilities of fighting and everything else. And you know, we were mentioning people that we mentioned on the podcast in the past, from Palomino, Manolo, we mentioned Caesar, we mentioned everybody. And I didn't know the whole, and of course everybody's gonna say they have their own story, but I didn't know the beginning of it all. And he gave me. Like, Wes, oye, yo era el primero que llegó aquí. Yo era que, mira,
he was founded in LA Fitness.
He gave me the whole breakdown. It was great to hear those details. I never heard the details. I always heard little wish-washes from different people.
He's 35-1 as a professional, man. And that one loss that he has, he rematched the guy and beat him.
He told me that as well. Yeah. So right now he's 47 or 50?
51.
51. And he's looking. This guy still trains with his fighters. Still spars, still looks great. Look at that, you see? So he's what's going on, you crazy mofos? Thank you once again for tuning in to the Black Sheep Perspective. I can't tell you how grateful I am for everyone's support out there. Please keep spreading the word. Do not forget to follow me on Black Sheep 305 on Instagram. Follow the link in my bio so you can log on to the platforms that you choose, whether it be iTunes, Spotify, or many others. Or if you'd like to watch the video as well, hey, why not go to YouTube, see how we act a fool, see what we got going on, see how these ugly faces look on camera. And also, guys, I want to give a big shout out to Live Colors, my brother Lenny Lastre and the company over there showing so much love over here with the many things that I've been getting printed out. You guys got to go show him some love. Go check out that site if you want anything printed out. And if you're trying to keep your diet on point, do not forget about the Yielding Seed. They are one of my new sponsors as well. Meal prep company representing South Florida, keeping me on point, making my life a lot easier so I don't have to overly focus on prepping my own food. Thank you to them. Thank you to you guys. And hey, let's get back to the podcast. So you're gonna do this bare knuckle. By the way, let's give a shout out to them real quick. The actual plug. I don't know. Do you know their actual handle? The bare knuckle handle?
Bare Knuckle FC.
Bare Knuckle FC.
Bare Knuckle FC.
So people listening, please go check out Bare Knuckle FC. Again, it's really blowing up. It's very well organized. They pay the guys pretty fucking good. They got a lot of top guys going over there. I think I don't know, dude. I actually think it's gonna blow up. It's weird.
I have a lot of people. I have a lot of people who don't know about fighting. They're like, "Yo, what about that BKFC? That thing looks like it's gonna blow up."
Dude,
hey, they had an article about it. I don't know if you've seen it. They reposted it on Facebook, right? And it's like the next $1 billion combat sports promotion.
That's crazy, bro.
Smart.
So for those listening, again, it's bare knuckle. That means there's nothing you can throw except punches. The only thing that's considered legal, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Baboon, you've been told the rules, you can do a one-hand clinch behind the neck or head if you're actively throwing punches. Yep. You can clip behind the head if you're actively throwing punches. Yep. That is it.
That's good for people who have crazy clinch game.
Yeah, guys who practice Muay Thai and transition into that.
Even Muay Thai wrestlers
as well. Yeah, you're right. That's been his main thing. Exactly. Shout out to Jim on that. He's been
That's how he knocked out the last guy.
Yeah, exactly. So and then that's it, guys. There is no wrestling. There is no going down. There's no kicks. There's no knees. There's no elbows. There's
how many rounds? How long are they?
5 2-minute rounds.
It's a good decent amount of rounds.
Yeah,
brother, if somebody can go 5
there's
2-minute rounds.
I don't think has there been anybody yet has gone 5 rounds.
Yeah, Lobov and what's that?
Jason Knight.
Yeah, Jason Knight.
That's right.
Oh, that is true. They had a disgusting war.
Yeah, they looked like they were both dead.
That was trendy, man.
Yeah, that's right. So anyhow, now Baboon's gonna go fucking do work. He's gonna go in that motherfucker and do his thing as well. And then hey man, if you go against Jim, you go against Jim. One thing we know how the fight game is. There's nothing but respect. I know you guys got nothing but respect for each other and nothing but love.
Boy, man. We good.
Yeah, fight's a fight. It is what it is. That's all. So if it gets there, it is. We'll see when we get there. But so Tiga's been the main guy. And
so as far as my trainers, right? So Tiga's the last 5 years, and in the last, I would say 3 months, going on 4 or 5 months, 4 months, I think 4 months, I've been training the world's famous Fish Street Boxing Gym,
right?
Coach Dino. and it's become like a home, for me. And I've worked with Dino in the past. I've never done a camp with Dino because I was always good friends with Lazar and a couple other guys. And then every time I would go to the gym, man, it was only for like a day or two or a week. The dude always gave me attention, always took care of me, always like the hospitality is just amazing, man. And always like that genuality of wanting to help you, And this time around, man, it's just, the atmosphere, man, just kept going and back, and it's all boxing. And right now, I don't want to wrestle, I don't want to grapple, I don't want to kick right now, like, not that I won't do it, not that I'm completely done like that, but right now I have my mind is still fighting, and it's boxing and it's punching bare knuckle, So it's the best thing that worked for me. So I put them together. So I'm working both with Coach Dino for this camp, Coach Tigre, and my strength and conditioning trainer, Marcus Concepcion.
So, yeah, shout out to Marcos, man. We have a great relationship with Marcos Concepcion, a good friend of all of ours. He's actually you and Gus's strength and conditioning coach.
Man.
Amazing job. Amazing dude. Follow him. I believe his handle is Marcos Concepcion, in case you guys want to check him out. Great guy, good-hearted dude. You've boxed some good guys out there that we know about. You don't got to give us details. Yeah. How do you feel, man? You feeling like
great, man. My last couple of sparring sessions is with guys in the 20s, mid-20s, 25, 26, 8-0, 7-0, professional, 200 amateur fights, and I'm doing great, bro.
Awesome.
So I got to say, I'm doing great. I feel great. They're great sparring partners, and I feel good. I'm doing good. My reaction's good, my timing, my speed, and the power never goes away. If anything, viejito power,
that power, you get stronger.
You get stronger, but the good thing is that my reaction and my speed hasn't taken any tolls, so I feel good, man.
Baboon, I've never seen any flaw in your fight game except when you get caught in the emotional part and you start banging. Now, with Gaethje, that's different because of the pain you had to endure, so I get it. I didn't know all those details. Yeah. I remember we talked about it. I thought it was probably a little exaggerated. Now I realize, oh no, the injury was legit as fuck. Like a little bit too much to go through, to move around on. Don't do that this time, motherfucker. Be the amazing striker that I know you are, dog. Use that crazy, awesome footwork that you got and just beat this dude up. You're gonna get him when you want to. Have you seen videos on him and stuff? Or what?
Yeah. He fought in CFA too.
Oh, okay.
He fought in CFA. Jim knocked him out too. Jim fought him, knocked him out. Not to take nothing away from the dude. I mean, look at the way the Jim's fighting too. He goes in and he gets in your face and is, let's get this.
That's not you though.
No, I think that was me.
Right.
I think that I've evolved from that, and I'm not to put nothing or nobody down or anything. It's just that I think I have a mixture of that old me with an evolution of myself.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
No, of course it does. Yeah.
Where I still have that aggression, but it's now I have more of a pinpoint on target, and I'm not trying to get hit.
Right.
Right. I can take a hit, but this is a completely different game, man. You have no gloves on. It's literally a jab can cut your eyebrow.
Right.
Cut something. It's literally I'm gonna hit you first, and you're not gonna see me.
Would you say that this sport might be a little bit more favorable? And I know it's going to take away from the actual name, but if they just wore MMA gloves and then everything else is still the same? No elbows, no nothing, no just...
I thought about that.
That way you just can't get
They have that in one championship.
Yeah, they're doing it. They're doing it and you protect the hand a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then it'll take away what it is.
From the rawness of it, of exactly what it is.
Yeah.
The rawness of it.
And if you think about it like this, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
True.
So even I've seen it. Even one of C's is doing that, the Muay Thai with MMA gloves.
Yeah.
Man,
I saw that.
They're doing some great things. But look, this is when I had an interview not too long ago in the open workouts, and somebody was asking me, about my thoughts on the growth of bare knuckle, right? And I in my own answer, I said, damn, that was like, yeah, that makes sense, Like my answer was, like, think about it like this, in the masses, right? So like in Japan, right, for example, when you had Pride Days, you don't hear people booing in MMA fights.
Not ever.
Because the crowd is educated.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? So in the masses, right? You come to America, Europe, and boo, and there's like, oh, they're hugging, oh, they're grappling.
Because they don't understand it.
Exactly. Bare knuckle is simple, man. It's this dude
1 + 1.
is punching that dude
That's
more.
it. Yeah.
Oh, that dude just cut that dude. Oh, he can't take more. It's like it's so much easier to understand
Right.
that I think it's gonna be able to grasp, and it is grasping the masses a little faster.
Yeah.
So I think the only thing that would probably throw off the masses that you speak of, and eventually they get used to it, just like everybody did to UFC, is the bloodshed.
The brutality, yeah.
Yeah, the brutality behind it, the
People
bloodshed.
love violence.
No, they do, and they'll get used to it. They'll get used to it. But you could look back on some of these fights, and you see broken orbitals like nothing, because it's knuckle on cheekbone.
Nope.
And swellings that are just beyond, you don't see them as often in MMA unless it was a long fight or whatever. So, but they'll get used to it. And I think we all agree, man, this shit's blowing up, man. It's blowing up. And I think it's an amazing transition for you. And I know that you'll have some good longevity with it as well. Moving past it for now, though, you've been doing some stuff on the side. You got a business that I didn't even know was a legit business. I didn't. I thought it was more of a hobby. You are breeding some of the fucking most gorgeous, beastly looking little juggernauts ever. I wish we had our reference TV today. For some reason, the HDMI cable was down, but to those listening and to those who are watching on YouTube, look up Baboon Bullies.
Baboon's bullies.
Baboon's Bullies on Instagram, okay? I didn't even know you had a page for it. Motherfuckers got more followers than I do. Fuck you, bro. Fuck you and those damn beautiful dogs. He's got these bullies. He's been breeding them for a while. I did not know it that long. And you've got nothing but the champion of champions or whatever it is. Give us a little bit on that.
So the bully thing was like, it goes back to again to, Rick Lamas, right? Rick Lamas, my brother. I went to go do a camp over there. And I've always wanted that target dog,
Bull terrier.
Bull terriers, right?
Right.
I've always wanted a dog because I've never growing up. I never had my own dog. Like, I was on my mom's dog, my sister's dog. I never had my own dog, right? So when I did camp over there, and he had this dog named Chico and Bane, right? And then one black, one white, and it's like, so Bane was like my roommate, right? He was always in my room. Man, this dog would start chasing his tail, jumping from here to there, like nonstop, like trying to go to sleep. Like, his energy is ridiculous. So these dogs are like so energetic, they need to let that out,
Yeah.
And then I was there for a while. So I was like, man, I was doing a wrestling camp. So I was like, nah, I can't, I want to relax. I want to be able to, I'm too busy. I want to be able to come home and just chill, right?
Yeah.
So then I went to go visit. He was an attorney of mine, right? And a good friend of mine is Bob, and Bob has his bullies. That's when I fell in love, and that's the Miami Bully Compound. It's called, and the color is called lilac, right?
So really quick though, when you say bullies, we already mentioned a bull terrier. You got American bulldogs.
So it's an American bully.
Okay.
That's the actual name of the breed. Like if you see my IDs, I have the IDs of my dogs, right? American Bully is made out of an English Bulldog, a Staffy, and a Pit Bull, all right? So those three make the American Bully. It's been around 20-some years, right? But it's its own breed. So, I don't know the exact details. I want to sound like I'm the exact,
Right.
What I would say is that they grab the Pit Bull, right? And you see how Pit Bulls are very athletic, and and thinner, right? So they mixed it with the English Bulldog, so they dropped them. They're not as tall.
Okay.
They're very short, and that English Bulldog gives them that girth, that width, and the Staffy. And they just made them more muscular looking. But at the same time, they're more relaxed. So they're more like a companionship dog, At the same time, they are, if you get a correct, well-bred dog, they're athletic, but short burst. Kind of like anaerobic.
Yeah, like a little muscle box.
Yeah, they're not gonna go long. They go.
Listen, they almost look like
chill.
they almost look like they're on steroids, and I'm not saying that. I mean that they almost look like they're on steroids. Now, is that because it's already in the genes?
It's in the gene.
So it's already in the genes, so they're predisposed to that pretty easily. But you still have to give them a certain amount of training, like certain rope jumping, rope pulling, or it's just really in the genes.
Yeah. You still have to move them around a little bit if you want them to.
Because they have that English Bulldog gene too.
Yeah, if but then again, look, the breeding right now is still growing, right? So you got some breeders, irresponsible breeders, and you got some responsible breeders, right?
Right.
I didn't get into this as a business. I got into it because I love dogs.
It's awesome.
Period. I love dogs, and I said, man, I had my son in my house. I at the point at that time, I had my stepson, you know, ex-girlfriend, whatever. And I'm thinking, man, you know, I want to have puppies for the rest of my life. Because
My favorite thought.
when I was growing up, my mom always had puppies. She always had a dog giving birth. You know, and then she wasn't breeding anything. She just, and we loved it as kids. We grew up with always having puppies, and I loved that. The united the family, you know. My family is very united, you know. So I wanted to give that feel to the kids in the house, you know, and to myself, right? And I said, what better way, you know, I could play with the puppies for a good 8 weeks, and then send them on their way to a very happy home. Now, if these dogs are expensive.
Mad money.
I know that big people again. Oh, you shouldn't breed. You should rescue it. I understand your cost, man. I have nothing against.
Agreed.
I've gotten stuff written from them. Look, man. You know, I think that you're wasting your time writing to me, telling me about me breeding. I think that you do more. You have something better if you go and rescue a dog for yourself.
Exactly.
Than telling me what to do, because you're never gonna be able to stop. Everybody's doing their own thing.
Right.
So whatever. So. For me, man, it's like the dogs can go anywhere between, like mine. My pups will go anywhere between 5,000 to 7,000. If you're gonna pay me 5,000, you're gonna take care of your dog. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know,
you're not gonna neglect things and do all that crazy shit.
I bought my dogs at $5K. Now, not because they cost $5K, you know, but because I can afford to pay $5K. I know that I can give them a good home. Good take, you know, man, dogs eat raw. They eat steak. They eat, you know, they eat like live, you know, like raw food. You know, like it's not a cheap diet. You know, and that also helps with the muscle growth and everything, and their, you know, the performance.
Their hair too, right?
Their hair.
Yeah.
For man, I tried the kibble. I tried the kibble crap.
Couldn't give that to my English bulldog.
It tore up
Creates
one of my
spots.
girls. Spots. She almost went bald.
Damn.
Yep, she almost went bald.
Just goes to tell you the amount of shit they put.
Where do you get the food at that?
I do it myself.
Oh, I go to a place on Bird Road
It's too
called Raw and
expensive,
Table.
man. Yeah?
Raw food, yeah.
Oh, the raw one, yeah. But how much you know?
It's a good price. It's cheaper than that stuff at freaking PetSmart.
Okay. Yeah, but
good, though.
you can do it yourself.
So
Yeah,
okay, so
you just gotta have the time for that.
You've been breeding them.
I kind of like a meal prep,
Yeah,
and I just freeze them.
exactly.
That's smart, though.
Yeah.
And so, how long have you been breeding these dogs?
So I got my first 2 girls back to back, 2 months apart. I have a pocket size, so the pockets are under 15 inches, and they can range between 65 to 75, 80 pounds. And I have a micro, which in Miami they're more known as exotics. So the exotics are no taller than 12 inches tall, and can range between 30 something pounds, 40 something pounds.
So if we were comparing them to humans, Gus would be exotic.
Yeah, definitely.
Gus would be exotic.
Definitely.
See
how low to the floor he is?
See, that's a compliment, my bro.
You guys think you're funny. It's fine.
So, how difficult is it to order one, or how is it on and popping like that, where you got a lot of breeds, or they're on back order? I don't even know how to what terms to use.
No, there's a lot of breeders out there. The thing is this, man. You gotta look. I did my homework nearly 7 months, maybe almost 8 months before I bought my first dog.
Good.
Because if you don't do your homework properly, man, they're gonna sell you some crap. Like what I mean by crap is like irresponsible breeders, man. You know, inbreds, they inbreed them too much, or you got some idiots that will juice them up and do.
Yeah,
if you don't have the right bloodline, like you don't need juice. It's been 20 years, right? You don't need to put anything on a dog. If you have the right bloodline, it's gonna grow into what it's gonna grow into. You know, you don't have to do anything. You just make them run here and there, feed them well, treat them well, done deal. You know, so yeah, man, it's.
So that's something you plan to keep on growing? Maybe.
Yeah. So now I got 2 females, and one of my females gave me a pup. Right, I kept her. I was supposed to give her. My girl was like, "It was only one," and like, in the bully world, is more quality. So because it was only one pup, you know, I didn't artificial insemination, so I didn't get enough semen, right? Or I didn't hit it right on time, so she only caught one pup, right? So because it was only one, that means that the head bone is gonna be more massive. It's gonna be thicker, bigger. So she's gonna be like, her quality is like. Boom.
How old is she right now?
She's now 6 months. They offered me $10K, then they offered me $12K, then they offered me $12K again, and all 3 times they heard to say no. And I didn't sell her. I kept
If you were close enough, I'd kick you in the balls right now.
You're crazy. This boy's crazy.
That dog is gone. Bye, baby.
I didn't
Bye,
sell her.
baby. Come here, baby.
Because now that same female that gave birth to her name is Dulce Leche, right? She's pregnant again with the same exact daddy, which is Raider, and Raider's the son of, if you Google Grand Champion Rockomania, you Google him, $2 million dog.
Damn.
He's the champion of champions, you know. And Raider is one of his direct sons. So I put Raider to my girl. And my girl comes from a champion herself, Coco, who's a champion, and Big Boy, which is famous in Ohio. You know, so my bloodline is out of control.
Legit.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be a great side thing you do. I remember when I know you followed Outkast. I know you know who Outkast is. I know you don't, Gus, but Big Boy. Big Boy started breeding pits. Blue Ribbon is what he called it. And this man, I mean, he's already super paid from music, this and that. He still produces music, even makes music, but that man's making a sick fucking paycheck off Blue Ribbon. And he was nothing but celebrities and sports stars and all that would get championship bloodline pit bulls from him. And I don't know. I think it's great. I think in the future that's actually something that I could do. You know, when I had some land, I think I could breed some dope ass dogs. And I feel the same way. Hey, you want to save a dog? Cool, do that.
Yeah.
Do what you do. Don't push that on the next person. From an entrepreneur standpoint, from a whatever standpoint, you know what people do with mistreating dogs, and then you have all these stray dogs, and then you have this, you know, pounds. That it's a sad thing, but we can apply that to almost any goddamn species. So don't come that way. But I think that's dope, and I've seen the pictures, and you guys need to out there listening. Check out Baboon's Baboon's Bullies on Instagram. Gorgeous bullies. And also don't forget to start following Baboon. Baboon, your exact handle. It's
Luis Baboon in IG, Twitter. And Luis Baboon Palomino is my fan page on Facebook. Luis Palomino on Facebook.
Okay. And then the Bare Knuckle is gonna be held at,
it's gonna be at the Fort Lauderdale Convention Center. And doors open 7 p.m., 8 p.m., first fight starts.
and this is on the 15th, which is next Saturday. So those of you guys hearing this, shout out to my video editor, Doug, Sobal Media. He's going to try to put this out right away. Hopefully we get this up and, video edited and up and running by Monday. But my man's got a crazy busy schedule. But we'll definitely get it up before your fight. But so anybody hearing this and paying attention, and we'll put out a lot of teasers, to Instagram and whatnot. Go buy your tickets, man. Go buy your tickets. I don't know how it goes in regards to you guys making a cut, if that helps.
Yeah, everybody that sells tickets gets a little 20% out of it.
So they got to go to the actual site, and then they put the fighter that they're
you put a
favoring.
code in,
Okay,
like
so make sure you guys show some love to Baboon. He's going to put on an amazing show. This guy's a really close friend of ours. We work together. We've known each other for so long. We've all been in the same industry. Me and Baboon have shared other stories about that street life and shit that we got away from and everything. So we always had a big bond from that. And my brother, it's so good to see where you at right now. To see the struggles, the highs, the lows, and to see you still trucking, doing so good, surrounded by a great team. And going with a company that, again, I'm mind blown at how much they're growing and how big they're getting. And I think just like Jim is doing great, and I hope Hector does great, and I know that Yuli's going to do work as well. Man, talk about you guys leading the team and making some big moves there, dude. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we cut out of this?
Sponsors, man. Hopefully I don't leave nobody out. That always happens to everybody.
Yeah.
But as far as sponsors, man, Kind of Care Labs. I mean, one thing is to do this, and another thing is to do this without a sponsor, man. The sponsors make it possible for you to be able to take
100%.
worries out of your head, be able to, take care of those bills, where you can actually focus on the fight, because they help you out with all that side. So, Miami, I have a Ceviches by Divino, Peruvian restaurant, and Divino Ceviche. They have a couple of locations. Bomberg, it's a watch.
Oh my God, yo! Please hook me up with those people, bro. This guy always puts these watches on. They're so fly, dude. For real, I need that sponsorship.
Yeah, I was gonna bring one, but the photographer stayed because we just did a photo shoot. So he had to do something single. Like, man, you can keep my watch. Yeah. So Bomberg, Ceviche by Divino, 1-800-INJURE, man. Any car accidents, slip and fall, 1-800-INJURE. Dude named Robert, that I went to school with, man. And he's been supporting me since day one, Jesus, let's see if I can remember everybody now. You know what? I got him written down.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, because
dig into that phone. Gus, while he looks for that, man, I know that you definitely got some people you want to shout out to and then remind people about the fight and everything.
100%. You know, like he said, you know, at the beginning, you know, doing fighting, you don't realize how much a sponsor is important, how vital it is in a career, especially when you start off as a pro. Now that I'm going pro, you know, I went through that struggle of working security overnight and then going into training. When I started MMA Masters, I was working 11 to 7 in the morning, and I had to be at practice at 10, and I lived an hour away. I would get no sleep. I'd go straight over there to MMA Masters, and then I'd go home, take a little nap, go back to practice at 5. So having a sponsors now and being able to be blessed and paid for what I do and what I love to do and train, it makes it so much easier, so much safer because you're not getting injured because of lack of rest, because it's important, man. So I got to shout out Fusion right here.
Yes.
CBD, because they make it possible to not be injured all the time. Fusion, Paramount, Game Time Management.
Huge shout out to them.
Yeah.
Yes. Game Time Management is an amazing up-and-coming management group right now. They're picking up a lot of great people, a lot of artists, fighters, and different just all kind of management. And Gus just signed on with them, and Yuli's with them, and other people. They're making a lot of great moves. But yeah, shout out to Sergio and Bean.
And Red Carpet Italian Restaurants. Bless that man for believing in me. Truly do appreciate that, man.
And for sure, you're locked in for Titan FC in the beginning of the April, so look out for that. And then for sure, we know this for sure, you're locked in for Combate Americas in Orlando at the end of the month, April 20-something.
Yep.
Okay.
Praying it all goes well. And
Baboon, you found that list?
I found them right here, man. So, Kind of Cure Labs, Carbon Fiber Music. This is also another guy that I used to work with, too. He's Faruko's manager. So you're going to have an artist walking me out in this fight.
Nice.
So Carbon Fiber Music, Ceviches by Divino, 1-800-INJURED, Bomberg, of course. FYI, Yacht Company from the Grove. And, everybody, the gyms, man. Fish Street World, the world's famous Fish Street Boxing Gym, and Young Tigers Foundation. Thank you, everybody. And Miami Bulldogs, just closed with them yesterday.
Guys, so you guys listening, man, again, just to piggyback what they said, if you guys are ever interested out there, in sponsoring a fighter, helping a fighter out, might not just be a fighter, might just be, somebody who can use the help in some type of sponsorship, dude, reach out. It's very difficult to chase dreams. It's very difficult to give something your all in order to be successful, especially in the fight game. And like they both just said, when they have to worry less about their meals, because they got meal preps being made, when they have to worry less about working so much. I know Gus, he works a lot at the UFC. He had to tell the boss, get ready, I'm about to take a month off. And I know you told him that, we discussed that, because when you overwork, you can't train, you're too tired, or you're training very lackadaisy-like because you don't have the energy. Mm-hmm. So if you have somebody who's like, hey, might not be much, but I can get you $500 a month or whatever it might be, that's a huge blessing, because that's less that somebody has to worry about putting in the work for and still taking care of their bills. So to anybody listening, man, one, shout out to you guys if you've ever supported, sponsored or anything. Two, show your support. Hey, if you can't sponsor, show some support by tuning in. Tune in to the Bare Knuckle FC. Go follow these guys. Go follow Baboon, on Instagram or Twitter. Go follow Gus. Tune in to Combate Americas. Tune in to Titan FC. This is all local, but this is all also televised. It's also on cable networks. I even think that they're on Fight Pass, not the Bare Knuckle. I don't think Bare Knuckle's on UFC Fight Pass, right?
No.
Bet you they will be.
Pay-per-view, though.
It's on pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's pay-per-view. So, guys out there, please, show your support. And then again, for the Black Sheep perspective, show your support. If you hear this or if you see this clip, man, go subscribe, go to YouTube, go to Spotify, go to any one of those platforms, show some support. Everybody here is just trying to make a little living, a little side extra. We don't all want to be, pushing papers 9 to 5 in. And the same way we encourage everybody else to do the same, we're over here doing our thing. So, Baboon, I love you to death, dog. I'm so glad we finally did this. Thank you for blessing the crib. Thank you for coming to the podcast. Yo, Gus, you've been excellent today. Not that people get to see it on camera, but that was quick how you handled that little malfunction we had earlier. Sorry for all the jokes today. I think we went easy on you today.
Yeah, we went really easy.
Yeah, I don't think we could.
I let it go. I got to respect my elders. I'm waiting
he slid in the final one.
Baboon thinks I'm playing. I'm waiting till he gets to 60, and I'm asking him a spar. I'm crying.
He's going to think he still got it in him. Now you're going to wax that ass.
Have you seen the old man in that beast.
Oh,
shit.
yes.
Oh, in the boxing
He
ring.
always says that's gonna be
That's
me.
gonna be
Bro.
me, 60 years old, whooping your ass.
That guy never saw it coming. That old man was serious from
Yes.
the ding ding. He was serious. He went.
Yo,
I don't
most-
think that was cool though. I think that guy was like, "Yo, I'm not gonna beat you up. Let's just spar."
Nah,
and the
man,
old
that
man
guy got
came in.
rocked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it
Nah,
looked
that
like,
guy
it looked
got
like
rocked.
he didn't know how to fight that good.
Yeah.
Though.
probably two as well. Probably two. But hey, guys, thank you for tuning in. Listen, stay tuned in. We got, unless, barring no setbacks, we got Valerie Lareda coming up next, man. She's going to come tomorrow. We're going to have a great time talking to her, catching up about Bellator and her modeling career and what she's got going on with that Spanish thing that she went to overseas. And go support everybody. Go support the Bare Knuckle. Follow Baboon. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Nothing but love and peace to everybody out there, guys.
Deuces.